What is up, everybody? We have another stream today. I got some things I gotta tell you and some things to talk about too. We have a live giveaway coming up soon. Not in this stream, but we're giving away a James Hagen's jersey as well as we're giving away a Connor Bedard jersey again. But that will be after the season. So I'm going to tell you all about that. Obviously, we are, I think, two people away on X from 17,000. So that's just crazy. So thank you guys all for your support. We are in the grind season here. What is up, guys? What's up, Anthony? How you doing? Another Anthony is in the house. Trevor, what is up? He made some steak tacos, he said today. So awesome stuff. We have a lot to talk about. Obviously, Wisconsin is advancing to the national championship game, and Keaton Verhoff didn't look that good today on the blue line. And obviously, I've seen about like 15, 16 live viewings of him this year, and not really as impressed as I thought I was going to be, but the size and the skill is going to be something that teams are going to bet on. Right-handed defensemen that are 6'4" with that much skill, and what you saw in the WHL when he played for Victoria was just fantastic. He looked like a fourth forward out there. I was talking to him, and he said that he modeled a game after like Drew Doughty and Thomas Harley, someone that could step up on the blue line, kind of do it all. And I feel like that's kind of his potential. But we're going to do a live Ask Me Anything question. I know that we have like 100 in our community. So we have over like nearly 700 people in the community that we created. And it's a bunch of people that love drafts, draft prospects, NHL draft stuff. So if you guys really like that content, definitely come aboard. It is completely free. Anthony does have a question here. Don, this is an honest question. Do you think the Canadian hockey world would call the lottery fix if the Panthers win the lottery after 2 Stanley Cups? This is really interesting. I don't think that there's going to be anything like that. It's a live lottery now. So even if there was a rigged lottery, I'm not sure what it is. I'm not going to speculate. But I would say that there's no rigging anymore. I mean, it's just there's too much on there's too much on the line. There's too much at stake. Could you imagine like the PR nightmare that would be? So I feel like if the Panthers win the lottery, it's going to be one of the craziest days on hockey Twitter. You're going to see Blackhawks fans coming out of the woodwork just to post whatever they want, probably create multiple different accounts and be like, hey, probably get banned a little bit on X, I think. It's going to be crazy, but I'm going to do a live stream. I'm obviously not going to the lottery. They're not going to let me in there. I would one day love to, just to see the process and everything, because I feel like you can't know if anything, like what's going on unless you're there. But I feel like since it's a live drawing now, there's no shenanigans there. Everybody talks about, I believe, viewing to the Knicks for the NBA lottery and stuff, and there was definitely lotteries that were rigged, but I don't think that the NHL rigged Matthew Schaefer to go to the Islanders. I feel like just what an incredible player that is as well. I don't know if there's going to be anyone that we ever see come out in the next 10 years that produces like Matthew Schaefer as a rookie. He just scored his 23rd goal as a defenseman the rookie year. So I believe, he tied the record. So if he gets one more, he will break the record, which is just absurd. Sorry, I didn't put my silent on it. I'm getting DMs, but a little interesting. Don, does Levshunov have a little brother that we can waste to pick on? That's crazy, Robert. That's all right. We did me and Blue Chip Prospect, who does my show with me on the clock. We did a 2024 redraft, and the first defenseman off the board was actually Cole Hudson of all people, which is kind of crazy. He picked him. I picked Levshunov first, but I still believe in the guy. He was not my pick for number 2. Ivan Demidov was all the way. I would not have picked him over Beckett. I mean, I would have not taken Beckett Seneca over him. I would have thought Levshunov would have been the pick over Beckett Seneca, and I was obviously wrong, and a lot of people would have been wrong as well. I'm not really sure I heard the Ducks really wanted Levshunov as well, so I think that the Blackhawks helped 2 franchises in terms of giving the Habs exactly what they needed, and Demidov and Kent Hughes just can pick like any player he wants, and I'm gonna be like, that's gonna be a star, because his track record over the years, that Habs scouting department is incredible. And then the Ducks picked Beckett Seneca, and that was a turned out to be an incredible pick. He's leading all rookies in points with, I believe, 61 or 62. I know that Schaefer just scored his 59th, so he's going to try to catch up. But that Calder race is fantastic. But, the Blackhawks did pick the right guy in Frondell. He looks fantastic. He looks like the guy, a top 6 player that has superstar potential, in my honest opinion now. His B game is fantastic. So I don't know. I don't know if he has a little brother. I don't think he does, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a Doc situation. Don, do you agree with most people that compare Keaton to Aaron Ekblad? I've actually never heard this. I'm honestly, I feel like Keaton Verhoff could be a star. He just needs to fix his decision making. Like, he gets flustered a lot during a lot of pressure when forwards are pressuring him using speed, and that has hurt him a little bit, especially in today's game and the games that I was watching. The Canes just scored in 19 seconds, so Canes are up 1-0 with their tank roster. So, I'm not sad about that. I don't really care. Blackhawks, whatever. Whatever. Vancouver. So I wouldn't necessarily think that Aaron Ekblad is the comp for Keaton Verhoff, but it's an interesting one. Right-handed defenseman, he's going to get compared to a lot of those that are stars. He was a first overall pick. Could be interesting. Vancouver has never had the first pick in their entire franchise history. If Florida won, Vancouver would go nuts. Yeah, like Florida, there should be some sort of thing where it's like, if you win 2 Stanley Cups in a row, you can't win the draft lottery the next year. I know that you can't have that, but what an interesting type of scenario that has happened. The one year the Blackhawks own their pick, and it turns out to be when in the bottom 10, like the top 10 guarantee, that was just such a heartbreaker hearing that, because nobody knew that was in the contract details. Nobody. No beat reporters on either side. There was nothing that said anything that was even close to that. It kind of it broke my heart when I first heard it, because a lot of people were using the mock draft simulator and thinking, this is a scenario where you could get the number 1 or 2 picks if you get lucky, and obviously that didn't come to fruition. Florida tanked, so I would not want to see that. I'm actually going to go on a Florida podcast soon, so it'll be interesting to hear their point of view and our little debate there. Between Gavin and Ivar, who do you think more likely fits with the Panthers if they get a number 2 or number 1 in terms of playing style? I honestly believe that Ivar Stenberg does, because I do believe that he's a more B-game type of player. He could be better in the playoffs immediately, but the thing is, I would take Gavin McKenna. Like, you have to take Gavin McKenna over Ivar Stenberg if you're looking for the best value. If not, you trade the pick. You go down to 2 or something. You sell off. I think that Gavin McKenna is the clear number 1 overall pick, and I've been saying that nearly the entire year. I mean, the World Juniors was very special for what Ivar Stenberg did, and he's a winner. But at the same time, like, for the Panthers, I think the best player for them would be, probably like a Keaton Verhoff, or Albert Smith. Albert Smith honestly would be probably the best, because he's the most NHL ready defenseman in the class, and he also has the size that you're not going to want to play him in a 7-game series, and you could never have too many defensemen. But in terms of that, I would think you have to go Gavin McKenna. So, I totally forgot to text you, Michael. Yeah, we have some Discord questions, and I was going to tell him so that he could drop the link. I'm really sorry about that. Completely snoozed there, but I do have to start marketing this on X that I'm on live. But the lowest Florida can land pre-lottery is 10 if the Predators and Devils pass 84 points. Yeah, so Trevor's been counting up the numbers a lot. He's been doing a really good job at that. Let me see. I want to put this in my group chat that I was just talking to you guys about. Wow, it only is. All right, so we have like around 100 people. Really appreciate everybody for coming out. If you guys have any questions, we're going to be doing a X question, as well as we're going to be rolling through a ton of questions. and I'll tell you guys about the giveaways, the jersey giveaways, all that stuff. We're going to be doing a live stream during the lottery as well, so that's going to be really exciting too. We'll have some some giveaways there. So definitely, if you guys are not subscribed or anything like that, just smash the like button to subscribe, do all the YouTube things. It really helps. But really appreciate everybody for coming out. And if you guys do want to actually join the community for free, like, just tell me and I definitely will get you guys in. Yes, we just hit 17,000 followers. We've hit 17,000 followers. This is incredible. This is I think, yeah, so we're good. So I really appreciate everybody that's done this. I've been on for about 15 months in the media game. So this is just unreal. I really appreciate everybody that does it. If you guys want to check out anything that I'm doing, like I have the Draft Prospects Hockey. That's my company where we're a scouting company, and we've been really adding a lot of incredible people like Michael, like Parker. Michael's actually going to be going to the Brantford Bulldogs game if they go to a Game 5 in Brantford. So, we're really growing, and it's really awesome to see, and I really appreciate everybody that has helped in that and the support. We have 629 members in the Prospect Dawn Hockey Den. This is the community where we talk puck, NHL draft prospects, and a lot of people talk a lot about Blackhawks, but I don't know if we're going to continue to do that as much. It just says we continue to grow. We want to go just straight to NHL draft prospects. I have the mock draft simulator here. If you want to go and see any of the prospects, you could see it here. You could click this link, see exactly how they're doing, how many points they have, their entire stats of the World Juniors. So if you want to see any of this stuff, it is all here. I put in every single player and their stats in here. So if you see in the OHL, Nikita Klepov was the leader in points with 37 goals. He's played fantastic. I have an interview with Nikita Klepov coming out next week. I thought it was coming out this week, but we just got too busy, especially with the Frozen Four and everything else. There's just a lot of hockey being played. And somebody that, one of my favorite prospects is Jake O'Brien in the NHL. He's just been fantastic. What a great playmaker. 93 points in 53 games. I think he led the OHL in points per game. Yeah, definitely. So, what an incredible player for the Seattle Kraken. And then you have Barabanov. Sorry. I've been watching a lot of clips of him lately, and he's an overager. He's actually 19 right now, but he had a fantastic season, and I think that he could get drafted in the top 50, but since he is an overager, he might fall. But I'm going to get to some questions here. I know that you guys have a ton. We have 104 people, so thank you guys. Let's see. Do you think with Verhoff being so young, only playing D for 6 or 8 years now, his measurables and the fact he plays NCAA, not watered down WHL, people are sleeping on him? I think he's the second highest. What can you tell me after? But ceiling in the draft. There you go. So this is this is a big question and it's hiding my face, but he actually he has some of the highest potential in the entire class. Let's not sugarcoat it. As a right-handed defenseman with that 6'4" size and what he's doing, especially with the talent and the WHL that he showed, this is a guy that could totally be a top-pair defenseman. He just needs to work on his decision-making. When the pressure comes, you got to be cool, calm, collective. It's something that he grew up playing goalie, and I feel like as a goalie, you have that. He just needs more experience. He needs more games played. I think that another NCAA season would be better for him, but I have heard a lot of people say that he is the most NHL-ready defense. I know I was watching CHGO, great Blackhawks podcast, and I know Mario was talking about it, and he said that Keaton Verhoff was probably the most NHL-ready or could jump in next year. It's probably Albert Smits at this point, and Keaton Verhoff is a guy that's trending towards going back to the NCAA, in my opinion. I think he has to. He needs more reps. And I watched a lot of live viewings of him this year, especially in the World Juniors, and it was just you wanted to see more. You wanted to see him play less safe, get a lot more puck touches. When I watched him in Western Michigan, he did not have a lot. He had the puck for like 30 seconds that entire game. Are you going to do a mock draft where you allow people to choose their teams? Yes, 100%. I'll do one tonight for sure. If any of you guys don't know, this is my website I created. You can run a mock draft with people. So you log in to create a room, you get the room code, and then people could join you. So that's kind of a cool thing that we've been doing on here, as well as you can see the scores. Let's see what everything is going. So 1-1, Blues, Jets. Panthers are down 2-0. So I believe if they lose this game, they probably keep that pick. I would be surprised if they didn't anyway. And also the Leafs, Islanders. The Blackhawks own both of these guys' second-round picks, but this is a big game for the Leafs if you want them to be in the top 5, because obviously it's a top 5 protected pick. But that would be kind of insane if the Leafs ended up getting that. I kind of want to see them get top 5, and whatever happens during the lottery happens, because it would just be really fun on X that day. So that would be really fun. Either way, it's going to be an interesting one, because it'll be like 5, 6, 7, maybe even 4 if they continue to slide. You can go down. Also, you can see the junior scores. So what do we have here? Yeah, obviously the NCAA Wisconsin beat Notre Dame, North Dakota. Sorry, Jonathan Taze's old school. And then you have Denver playing Michigan right now. So definitely pull that up on a different screen. You guys got to be watching that. That's a great game. Michigan has a ton of incredible prospects like Michael Hage, Adam Valentini in the 2026 draft. You have Eric Polkamp on Denver, but you have Jack Ivankovic, who's awesome, and Malcolm Spence, who I've done interviews with every single one of those Michigan guys except Michael Hage. I've not. Oh wait, no, I have. Oh, I think I have got Michael Hage. Might have been at the World Juniors. I'm honestly not sure. It's such a blur these days. But I wanted to show you guys the giveaway, the James Hagen's jersey giveaway, just in case if any of you guys want to. It's completely free. I had Drop the Mitts told me about it earlier today. So he was like, hey, I'm giving away a James Hagen's jersey. Want to do it with me? And I was like, heck yeah, like, let's do it. So I'm going to scroll down to the tweet and then share my screen on that. All right, I have it pulled up now. But here you go, yeah. So James Hagen's jersey giveaway. If any of you guys want to enter, follow Drop the Mitts Hockey. He does some really great work. Has interviewed even Gavin McKenna. So if you want to see his Gavin McKenna interview, he's also doing some stuff for Draft Pros Hockey, as well as me. Like and retweet and comment NHL Bruins. It's a really cool opportunity. Winner will be announced in 7 days. So, he'll already have played a game. This has 215 retweets, 274 likes. Yeah, what a baller that we're giving away some free jerseys. Like I said, we're going to give away a Connor Bedard jersey too after the season, but that's just a little bit of breaking news there. So if you guys want to see any of my interviews, you guys can come down to here. We are going to be running that draft lottery. If you guys want me to run a draft sim, I will. I know that Trevor loves these. And then we'll get into some of these questions because you guys have a ton right now. I keep on seeing reports that the Panthers get 6, then between Ethan, Oscar, Oliver. Yeah, all 3 of those guys are over 6'4". It would not be surprising if they went this route. Oscar Hemming is kind of a baby Brady Martin. I've been saying that this year. You get the physicality, you get that size, and he was the youngest player in the NCAA. So definitely somebody that you can totally put on that third line and just you're going to hate to play against him. Oliver Savanto is honestly, he looks older than he is, but he is one of the younger players in the class and really impressive at the World Juniors. I actually want to pull him up. If you go to the draft rankings here, you could just pull up Oliver Savanto. And Oliver Savanto is playing in Liga. And Liga's a tough league, but 11 points in 48 games is pretty darn good. So let's see, Oscar Hemming, he had 8 points in 19 games played. So he actually couldn't play first half of the year. There was some stuff that happened in the CHL. Then he couldn't play, didn't know where to play, ended up enrolling second semester for Boston. Played great. August 08 birthday, the youngest player in the NCAA. But before that happened. Actually, Morozov was the youngest player in the NCAA, and this is somebody that could also be on the Panthers' radar. Let's say if they trade down, get a 6'3" guy, August 08 birthday as well, 20 points in 36 games in the NCAA level. Really good production. I really like him as well. He's 18th on my board. If you guys want a sneak peek at my top 64, here it is. This is it. So if you want to go on draftprospectshockey.com/NHL mock draft lottery, you can see all of this. You can see the prospect pools for any of your teams. This is just one of my favorite things I've ever created and ever got to do. So you can do the GM mode, which is one of my favorites. You can actually put in Gavin McKenna or anybody in the draft class to build your lines with the Blackhawks prospect system, or anybody you want. Matt Grizzlick, his brother Andrew, is in our community and he is very active. So going to put him as left D pair 1. What an awesome experience that community and group chat is. So thank you guys, everybody, for joining in that. But I'm going to get back to the questions. Let's see. 2 guys I see climbing up boards, Preston and Villeneuve. I actually have not seen this. They've fallen for the most part, but they're both very skilled players with lack of production, and they are both under 6 feet. I'm not really sure where Mathis Preston is going to fall. I could totally see him going in that 30s range, even though, I had him top 15 in my rankings early in the year, but he's one of the most skilled players, so I'm not mad at myself. If you watch his game, it's just incredible what he does on the ice. And Villeneuve is fun. I actually did a post about him the other day, and he's just a really fun, skilled player. Good defenseman. I have heard that he's not actually 5'11", so I want to see him at the combine and ask him some questions, but if he is 5'9", that will really hurt him. North Dakota versus Wisconsin tonight, first game of Frozen 4. Yeah, I have the spoiler if you're recording it, so I'm not going to say it, but the game's over. But that was a good one. I'll talk about it for sure. Wisconsin scored in 2 in a minute, and North Dakota scored with a minute left. So, a game of minutes in the NHL. Which pairing is Verhoff on? Second, third? Well, in the NHL, I think that he has to be in the top 4. If you're not putting him in the top 4, then there's just no way that you're drafting him that high. Let's see. Yeah, this is a big game for Boston, guys. The Leafs Islanders. Rip Boston. It would be the beginning of the end of Morgan Riley if the Leafs get in the top 5. None of these players really are going to affect players that are on the rosters right now, other than a guy like probably McKenna, maybe Smits. I think Smits will play NHL games at the end of the season. But either way, I think things are coming to an end for Morgan Riley, regardless for his Leafs tenure. They need to really do a lot of retooling. What is up? I don't know your name, but I don't even know. So because Stenberg has been playing with men this year, does that make him NHL ready next year? If not, does he stay in Sweden or develop in the AHL? This is interesting. I think that's Stenberg's floor. He could probably make the jump next year, but I think he's going to take the Anton Frundell route. I think he's going to play his games after his team loses. Okay, since my Panthers got the number 1 in the lottery, I'm okay with trading out of that. As much as I like Gavin, he doesn't fit our system. Well, I think if you get the number 1 pick, you have to just take it. I don't care. Take Gavin McKenna or Stenberg. For me, it's Gavin McKenna. Big drop off, but take Gavin McKenna and see what else. You are getting gifted Gavin McKenna. I think you have to. I wouldn't want to see it. I think the draft would be terrible, but at the same time, I think you have to. Chat, what do you guys think? Do you think that you have to take a guy like Gavin McKenna, or do you try to trade down? Because either way, you could get a ton of assets, but does Panthers really need a lot of assets? So let me know what you guys would do. I think that it's a really interesting question. And we're going to get to some of the X questions too. Let's see. Okay, we actually have one more question on here. Sorry, I was looking away for a second. Got stuck in Riverside. Sorry, I meant which pair was Verhoff on in North Dakota? So when I watched him at Western Michigan, he was the second pair, but I honestly didn't know the game lines. I wish I was there. I should have went to Las Vegas. It is so sweet there. I ended up not even applying. It was just like I totally could have got into. I'm trying to find the game lines, but I can't. If I had to guess, he played like 18 minutes based on what I was seeing. 18, 19, 20 minutes. Blackhawks have scored. It's kind of unfortunate. I don't know who scored though. Oh, it was Frondell. Let's go. Frondell scores his second goal. What a stud. Frondell scored his second goal. That's sweet. That's awesome. I love if they traded down just because it would add spice to the draft. That would be really cool. I think if the Panthers got it and traded down, like it would be crazy. I don't even know what that package would be. You would have to give them 2 or 3 firsts at least. Daxon Rudolph, really great. I really do like him. I have an interview with him that I posted a while back. And he liked Drew Doughty until he modeled his game after. You know, there is some concerns about his transition game and his defense. And sometimes, you know, he gets caught in no man's land, but I actually just like his game. I think that Daxon Rudolph is really good offensively. He's played well. And his productions in the WHL were really good this year. So for Prince Albert, yeah, 78 points in 68 games, 28 goals. I know that the WHL is a little watered down now, but I like the talent. I think that this is a really great player here that you could get in the top 10, and I think that he could go to the Sharks. I think that this is definitely a Sharks type of pick because when you're looking at it, it's like you go for team need at that point, and I think Daxon Rudolph is a really good value. And I want to go to Twitter to see some of these questions. You guys were very active in the group chat, so I really appreciate that. That was pretty awesome. Yeah, we're going to go live a lot. It's just something that we're going to continue to do. Let's see. I'm going to the questions that people asked because I did a post earlier before. But thank you guys for 17,000 followers. That is awesome. We hit that while we were on live stream. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so it didn't ask me anything. We're going to go Warren Bedard's. So, are there any of the top defenseman prospects that could be in the NHL at the start of the season? I think the only one, honestly, is Smits, and I really don't think that he's even going to do that. Ben Harvey is the same age as me. What is up, Twister Man? I'm not sure if I've seen you before, so like a welcome to the community. How is Stenberg looking in the playoffs? Stenberg has been good. I think that he had like 3 goals in 4 games or 3 points in 4 games. I can pull it up right here. I actually have all the stats. Let's see. Well, I actually can't find it. I don't know why. Green just made the sickest pass to to Mikheyev, but Frederick made an insane save. Do you want them to win right now? All they need is a couple more losses, and they clinch that 2 spot. That's the top 4 pick. And the Canes are not even playing anyone today. So that's what scares me. I don't care if people think I'm a hater. If I said I want the Blackhawks to lose, like there's no reason to win. Unless Frondell's getting hat tricks or something like that. Like, but even then I wouldn't like it. I got a question about a grow up from the same area as me, Xavier Villeneuve. At which rank do you think he'll be drafted? Personally, I think he'll go between 17 and 25. Do you think Villeneuve can improve his defensive game enough to be a reliable NHLer sometime? As much as I hate to say it, and as much as I want him to succeed, I'm starting to have concerns. Thanks a lot. You know, I think that 17 to 25 is honestly a good range. He's going to fall because of his size. And he's a player that just has that elite offensive ability. He's a really good playmaker. He walks the blue line really, really well. And playing in the queue, he has 36 points in 35 games. But at the same time, it's just like he is a player that you have to probably wait to take until the top 20 or in the 20s. You can't necessarily take him too early because he's going to fall. Cole Hudson fell. Lane Hudson fell. The under 6 foot defensemen just fall, and his production in the queue hasn't been great, and he also has an injury, so it is a little tough. Prospects that's being overhyped and why? Prospect that's being overhyped. This is a tough question. I mean, for me, maybe the Rucks. I don't see a lot of their 85% of their goals, I think, have been 3 feet and above around the net. Like, I know Craig Button had Liam over Caleb Malhotra. That just shouldn't happen. I think the Rucks are being a little overhyped. But that's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Is there a prospect that you see fall substantially out of their current rankings? So one example is LG Moody from 2025. I think Mathis Preston, Adam Valentini maybe, just because of different situations, but Mathis Preston or Thomas Galvis. Thomas Galvis could be one of those guys. Overager, smaller. Villeneuve could be one of those guys too. Yeah. It's the smaller guys. The NHL GMs don't like them. But that's a really good question. Dan Hines 3. Who is someone you want to talk about that you generally just don't get the chance to talk about? That's a great question. I'm just going to continue to spam that, but it's a great question. Somebody that I really like is Klepov. Klepov is really awesome to watch. If you watch him, he looks like a left-handed, like mini skilled Bedard out there. Obviously, he's not that, but his production, 97 points, 37 goals, 60 assists, was just fantastic in the OHL. He grew up playing defense, and he grew up playing as a defenseman. I'll say that. But he's just one of those guys that I think that actually has a lot of NHL upside, and if you give him space, he's just going to exploit it. The Canes scored again, but they're calling it off. So they're saying goalie interference probably. But that's a really good question, and I'll give you another one. I think Igor Barabanov, sorry, is somebody that I also like. He's put up really good numbers, but again, he's an overager, 19 years old, and he should be putting up those numbers. The Canes got there early. That should kind of be waved off, but they're going to wave it off. The Blackhawks will win that game. Let's see. Who deserves 1OA pick most? It's the Canucks. The Canucks definitely deserve this pick. They haven't had it in their history. I think that they need to get a guy like McKenna or Stenberg, and then next year they're going to probably get Landon DuPont, Alexei Joseph, Carter Myers, one of those guys. Even Nazar, if you guys have not seen him playing in the MHL, a really good draft that's rounding up, but obviously it's too early. But the Canucks are going to be bad for a long time. They could get multiple first overalls. they could be a team that like has to stop selecting first because of the 2 years. Okay, the Canes scored again. So they didn't get it, and now they did. So that's hockey justice right there. 2-1. Incredible move by Stanky. I could get him on the pod if you guys are interested in anything like that. But let me know who you guys want me to interview. I could reach out to them. Who do you think could be the Bryce Pickford of this draft? Pantelis? No, let's do a different one. Oh, Vladimir Trevecki. Brantford Bulldogs. He grew up. He also played in the SHL for 3 games. Like, the dude has serious skill on the defense. Obviously, he's not putting up extraordinary numbers, but he's playing for the Brantford Bulldogs, which is like the Yankees in the OHL. I don't know if you guys saw, they won like 8-2 last night. I stopped watching after it was 8-1. I was in the little YouTube chat that they had for Flow TV, and I was just like talking to people, but no one really cared. But I thought it was cool. I was talking about Caleb Malhotra, but very cool, Casey. Thank you for asking the question. He's awesome. We talk all the time. So, Alan Wiley. I would want Stenberg over McKenna. One of the reasons is that he has high-level professional experience, whereas McKenna does not have that. You doesn't yet. Do you think that plays a factor into GM's decision-making on draft night? No. This is a good one, but on the Called Up podcast from Chris Peters and Cam Robinson, I've heard that Ivar Stenberg could fall. So I think that it's clearly McKenna now. I think that people know that it's McKenna. McKenna had 51 points in 35 NCAA games. Yes, he had 8 points versus OSU. If you take those 8 points out, like I said last stream, that's still 34 games played, but 43 points. Dude's a rock star. Obviously, Celebrini ruined it, and Fantilli ruined it for freshmen in the NCAA, but you can't look at both of those. That's just absurd numbers. Okay, I'm going to go back to the stream questions for a second. Yeah, you talked about that. Bedard just tripped Frederick. So let me know what you thought about my Bedard interview. I had a great time. I thought I got him laughing a lot. Lardis is a breakaway here. He's probably going to score. Oh, he did not. I had a really fun time with Bedard. He's a really great guy. That was a really cool experience. I think the video's got over like 500, 600,000 views, so that was really cool. But let me know what you guys thought about that. I thought it was cool. So I'm a big Canucks fan, and knowing our luck if we fall to 3, do you think we should pick Reed or Verhoff, considering the Athletic said we're interested in Reed? Actually, I'll tell you this. Like, Cam Robinson grew up a Canucks fan, and he loves Chase Reed. And I think that could totally be an option. But don't forget about Malhotra. Manny Malhotra might be the head coach of the Canucks. If that's the case and they're at 3, I think that they can easily trade down and go for Caleb Malhotra there. Sell off. Say you could get Malhotra at 5. Sell lower for 2 picks. Try to get an asset. Try to get multiple assets. Great question. Actually, let me know who you want, Andrew, because I feel like this is interesting because the Canucks are actually building a Swedish super team. I don't know what they're going to do with EP40, but they believe in their Swedes. And also, the last time the Canucks had a pick like this was 1999, I think second and third, the Sedin twins. And at 18, Daniel Sedin actually had 40 points as an 18-year-old. And the next closest, who was projected, but Ivar Stenberg kind of tailed off at the end. Stenberg was projected to have almost 50 points in the SHL at one point. He had 33, so he didn't hit that number. I think the World Juniors got him a little tired and wore him out a little bit. But at the same time, they're both incredible players. I want to know your opinion. Interview both of the Ruck twins at the same time. I've asked. I haven't gotten anything from Medicine Hat. I'll ask again. But the thing is, I'm not as high on them, so I feel bad a little bit. But I don't want that to I have them 24, 26, but I'm not as high as, say, Craig Button. And I respect what Craig Button says, but I want to see some other things. And I'll talk to both of them at the combine. They'll probably have them up in the like the media scrum area, so they'll be together because they did that with Eklund and Frondell, which I thought that was pretty cool. I just love like both of those players. I love the Swedish guys. Do you think Malhotra as being a bit overhyped just because there's a lack of first round centers? I've heard his ceiling is more realistic, a 2C rather than a 1C. So no, Malhotra is not being overhyped. I want to clear that. But for my thinking of Malhotra, I think that he's more of like a Dylan Larkin, not with the speed, but his role. I think that he's going to be that kind of 1C. And when you're that kind of 1C, it's like, could you be a 2C on an incredible team? Of course. Like, say you have prime Sidney Crosby, anyone's a 2C. If you have McDavid, anyone's a 2C. It's not like that. And in the NHL, you need Jeff Blashill, when we were interviewing him, was talking about you need 3 high-powered centers down your line. That's why Bedard, Frondell, and Nazar is happening right now. You need to have that. You need to have the depth. You need to have that incredible 3 Cs. And you're seeing how is it working for Brantford Bulldogs? Malhotra is the play driver on his own line. He has a lack of really good forwards next to him. Yes, he is Dennis, but at the same time, like Dennis is a smaller, faster wing. So in terms of like NHL talent, he doesn't have that Marek Vanacker, Adam Banach type of player. You have Jake O'Brien, Luchenko, Malhotra, and Malhotra's the play driver. And I think he was 4th this year in points. I can't go to it, but I think he was 4th or 5th in points in the OHL. He's had maybe 8th, but he's had a fantastic season. And he shot up out of nowhere. This guy has his uncle Steve Nash, his dad is Manny Malhotra. This guy has it. He has the it factor. Reed Verhoff. What do you guys think? This is kind of interesting to me. Reed played much better at the World Juniors. He had a big role. Verhoff hasn't looked good when the lights are brightest. I'm not going to lie. Stenberg is the Canucks' dream pick, though. We love our Swedes. Yes, exactly, Antonio. That's what I was saying. They're building that Sweden super team. Totally could see that. I honestly prefer Reed. I think over Verhoff. I think Verhoff has the lower floor. I don't love the idea of dropping down for a trade, especially with the Flames in the mix. And if they are ahead. Yeah, in my opinion, Reed has the lower floor. Verhoff has the lower floor. Reed might have the higher offensive upside, but Verhoff is the higher overall defenseman. Like, Verhoff could be a lock. But Reed has the better shot, probably the better playmaker in times. He played better at the World Juniors. He's more NHL ready. This is going to be a really big talking point. I think they would take him out Malhotra. The Canucks? Let me know. I think you were talking about the Canucks because you said it was your favorite team. So I actually want to show you guys. I think I have. Let me see what I got here. Here, watch this.
Well, I loved watching Jonathan Taves and kind of Patrice Bergeron as well. I wasn't a Boston fan growing up, but was just respecting his game and seeing what he's done. But yeah, Jonathan Taves, kind of how he was so elite on both sides of the puck in the circle, kind of all over the ice. You can trust him in any situation. You want him to be out there when you need a goal, and when you need to shut somebody down, you can also put him out.
Yeah, so that was Caleb Malhotra talking about his player comps, and I feel like from a defensive standpoint, hand-eye coordination standpoint, reactionary standpoint, the guy has elite defensive upside. But I think Tynan Lawrence is the better defensive player, but Caleb Malhotra is the more 1C type of option where he's going to give you more offensively. So I want to go back to Twitter. What undersized players do you like the best? I have Ryan Lynn, Villeneuve, but the best one is obviously Vigo Bjork. Vigo Bjork is one of my favorite players. Got to talk to him a ton at the World Juniors. Really great kid. His aunt's the Madonna of Sweden. He doesn't have any ego. I love this guy. Very confident in himself. He knows how he needs to play stronger. He's worked on that. He's played in the SHL, playing against men. He kind of gives me like a Cancerell vibes of the Blackhawks. but I think he's more skilled and has more of a superstar type of upside. But if he is truly 5'10", this dude's going to be a beast. Connor Bedard's 5'10", Marco Rossi, Zach Benson, Alex DeBrincat, all very small forwards that have showed that they can play in the NHL. I'm missing a ton, like Logan Stankoven, who just had a great goal against the Blackhawks. These are guys that are showing that you can be any size. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. The NHL is getting smaller, more skilled, faster. Vigo Bjork's going to play. I'll finish off the question by saying Adam Valentini, I still have him in my first round. 25 points in 38 games played in the NCAA. Still playing with Michigan. Really great player. I have an interview with him, but I had to cut most of it because it was when he was with Kitchener. But he was just a really good guy. I hated that he was getting so much terrible backlash. Like, he's just a guy. He loves Rainbow Siege. He likes video games. Like, he's just a kid. Like, I don't know why we put so much pressure on these guys. We have 150 viewers, so thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. I'll be on. We'll be doing a mock draft soon. I hope Habs do good this year for Blue Chip. Blue Chip Prospects, obviously my co-host. I think he just hit 7,000 subscribers on YouTube. So, yeah, give him a sub if you guys can. I'm also live on YouTube. We have 21 live viewers on YouTube. So, heck yeah, that's pretty good for me because I do not utilize YouTube at all. I think, I have a lot of my interviews there as well as mock drafts. So if you guys want to check it out, help me out, please. And I'm also going to be doing a live stream there for the lottery, and we're going to be doing some jersey giveaways. Like I said, we have an announcement to make at the end of the season. That's going to be a jersey giveaway, as well as we have a James Hagen's jersey giveaway that's live right now. So I think it's also because I'm such a bad reader. I'm so sorry. This is so hard. I think it's also because we have no good offensive forwards, so we kind of have to compensate for our bad offense with taking Chase Reed. The Canucks are in a spot where they literally need everything. I think that you kind of are hoping to get that Landon DuPont pick, but it's at best 25.5% chance. But if they do win this pick, it won't go into you win the lottery 2 out of 5 years because they are the worst team in the league. So they're not necessarily winning anything. So that is a good plus there. But I do think the Canucks will be the worst team in the league next year. But for me, I think there's a multitude of ways that you can go. I think Chase Reed would be a really good option. I think that after the NCAA performances, people kind of have a recency bias. We're going to start seeing Chase Reed on people higher than Verhoff. And it's just unfair because it's recency bias, but you have to take everything into account. But I will go back to Twitter. Again, thank you for 17,000 followers. I couldn't have done it without each and every one of you guys. That's awesome. I've been grinding for 15 months, so thank you guys. I know 15 months is nothing, but it's been a long time mentally thinking about everything. But who's your favorite defenseman out of the top 4 or 5 guys? Well, I'll just list out, I think it's tiers now. I think Verhoff, Smits, and Reed are probably on that first tier, and then Carroll's, and then Dax and Rudolph. So I'm not as high on other people on Carroll's. I know Craig Button had them too, but I just haven't seen it. I think that the WHL is a little watered down, like I've said. But for me, we gotta go with the big 6'3" and above right-handed defenseman. I know Chase Reed, I believe 6'2", 6'3", something around there. But Smits is 6'3", and he hits like a hammer. I mean, that guy will kill you. If you're worried about Vigo Bjork, be worried about that guy in a 7-game series versus him. So just telling everyone I'm alive. I just started doing lives, but I'm happy with the view counts and everything. It's just I have to process all this stuff. Blackhawks will have 1 to 32 picks next year. Win the Stanley Cup. Edmonton, Florida finished dead last. yeah, that'll happen. Of course. What? I'm not going to answer this one. Sorry about that. Did not read that one. What is your opinion on some of the Swedes that have seen a lot of action in the SHL other than the main ones, for example? As well as some of the Swedes that are more. Well, I haven't had a lot of live viewings of these guys, but I've seen a lot of Alexander Command, and he's a really exciting prospect. Kind of gives me like kind of a similar range of where Milton Gastron went last year, but he is like, I think that he'll be a third line player. Worst case scenario, he has that floor, but he also has some sick upside. But for the other guys, probably day 2, 3rd, 4th, 5th round picks. I was actually surprised that Philip Ekberg went in the 6th round last year. What comps do you have for Rudolph? Daxton Rudolph, kind of, who did? So I had a really good one, and I thought, kind of reminded me of, like, he kind of gave me, I know he said like Jake Sanderson and Drew Doughty, but I didn't really see that. Kind of like a more offensive Logan Hensler, but also he might have been doing the same thing as Logan Hensler last year. Because Logan Hensler at the NTDP played really, really well offensively, but I think NHL Gabe Foley said that he plays like Lindell from the Stars, and I really did like that. But I thought that was really interesting. I think after losing Hughes, we have to take Reed, but Malhotra would be good too since our weak center depth. In my opinion, I think that if you have the 3rd pick at this point with Verhoff, if people are having question marks about is Verhoff in the same tier as Verhoff, Reed, Smits, Malhotra, then you just trade down, get as much value as you can, and then have the other people pick. I think Reed would be a fantastic option, and I think Malhotra would be also a really good option. It's just depending on what you want, because they're completely different players. I'd probably go Reed over Malhotra because right-handed defensemen and defensemen take longer. So you should probably draft your defenseman earlier in the rebuild than later. But if you get Malhotra, he is like 1C potential. I think you got to take that chance if you believe in him, as well as the Manny Malhotra thing. Sorry, So if you ever need help with live shows, let me know. Hopefully we could do something together. Great to see you and TDM collab on the Hagen jersey. Know him well. Happy to help, however. Yeah, let's chat, man. I really appreciate that. I've seen you in Twitter, so I'll DM you, but I really appreciate that. I definitely need help on my live streams. Like I said, I'm like a junior live streamer at this point. It's my rookie year of this. I think like I'm in game 6. It takes 300 games for defensemen to elevate their game. So just give me some time. I wouldn't mind either Reed or Malhotra at 3, but McKenna, if we get one. Yeah, you have to go McKenna. But the thing is, like, with the Canucks, it's like, are they going to go a Swede? They always do that. Like, I don't know. That's one of those weird ones, man. I think that there definitely could be a possibility where they go Stenberg. If we land Reed DuPont, that would be insane. Arguably the best decor in the league. Of course. 100%. Like, that would be absolutely nuts. A 1-2 punch of those two guys. Obviously, they're not going to play on the same line. But it's kind of similar to what happened with the Blackhawks. Like, it's where Rinzel, you knew was going to be a good player, then you took Artem Levchinov, but you need right-handed defensemen. You saw what happened with the J.J. Peterka trade, a right-handed defenseman, and then Doan, obviously, which Doan was awesome. I think Kessler, something like that. Yeah, it was Michael Kessler. And then that trade was just fantastic for both teams, which I didn't think it was. I thought there was going to be a 4-9 pick swap, blah, 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 in the 2025 draft. But, I actually want to go to this one really quick. Trust the new Canucks. They learned we took Coots over Eklund. So actually, this was cool. So I was in the lobby of my hotel during the draft, and then Braden Klutz's family, his mom, his grandpa, and Braden Klutz's little brothers were all there, and they were like, his mom was like, "Are you Prospect Dawn?" I was like, "Yeah." Like I didn't know anyone knew me at the time, or I knew one person, but and she was like, "You called it. You called Coots. You called Braden to the Canucks at 15 on I was on Goat Radio." And I thought that was pretty cool that she even heard that and saw that. And I thought that was awesome. So I'm a big Braden Coots fan. I got to interview him when he was with Seattle, as well as Radim Murka. And Radim Murka said he was the best player he ever played against. But with Braden Coots, what an incredible player. Victor Eklund and Braden Coots, for me, it's just kind of what you want. And I think Eklund is a really great player too, but it's kind of just what you want. It's different styles of play. And I think that the Canucks did a really good job with Coots. That's a really great center, or a really great player too to elevate. He's Captain Coots, baby. So love the 300 game takes. Been preaching that on Mason Lowry for 2 years. A top lesson I've learned from Dom, having worked with him for years. That's awesome. I think, was it Pronger? I think he was the one that says like 200, 300 games. No, I think he said 300. The term is usually 200, but you got to get a lot of reps. That's why I'm not concerned about Keaton Verhoff. Just think about Keaton Verhoff in 300 games. Think about Keaton Verhoff in year 4. That dude's going to be a completely different player. Year 5, that's 400 games at that point if you play every game. Just give these guys time. Keaton Verhoff will be a great player. I think Eklund will be a great fit with New York. Of course, yeah, he's going to be great. I have this one clip of him that I just dropped. I can get it to you guys. Yeah, one like, baby. That's what we like to see there. Let's see. So these are all my interviews that I posted today. James Hagen's. Where's the one? I might have posted this on yeah, I definitely posted this on TikTok. Wait, no. Look.
A few highlights of him. I'm not. Yeah, I've been watching a few highlights of him. I'm not really surprised what he's doing. He's so good. His skating is phenomenal, and yeah, he's an extraordinary guy. So there's no doubt that it's gonna work out for him. Yeah, I've been watching a few highlights of him.
Yeah, so that's Victor Eklund on Matthew Schaefer. Everybody can see what Matthew's doing, man. I mean, he's killing it. I was at the World Juniors. I have a lot of these clips. I'm putting out all my World Juniors clips before the combine, because I'll have 1,000 combine clips. So again, I'm not going to say follow, subscribe. You guys are probably already doing that or would have done it, whatever. But during the combine, I'm going to have so many more. But look at this, 59 points in 79 games. Matthew Schaefer is the defensive GOAT. I really do believe that. Not the GOAT just of rookies. Let's go back to the questions. Keaton Verhoff on his player he modeled, or no. So I'll tell you all the list of the players that modeled their games after. What I learned about top NHL draft eligibles who mounted their game. McKenna is Kucherov, Patrick Kane. Stenberg said Tim Stützle and Lucas Raymond. Keaton Verhoff said Drew Dought. It's Drew Doughty and Thomas Harley. Chase Reed, Zach Werenski. Malhotra, Tazen. It's, Patrice Bergeron. Smiths, he doesn't like anyone. Carson Carrolls, Jake Sanderson, Miro Heiskanen. Belchez said Brady to Chuck, Jamie Benn, and Mikko Rantanen. Vigo Bjork said Sidney Crosby. Oliver Savanto said Barkov. Gotta love the confidence here. Incredibly confident. And even Barkov, Oliver Savanto has a lot of upside there. What a stud. But I'll go back to my questions. And I'm actually gonna try to do the biggest mock draft ever. But what then we'll load into a mock draft together. And does anyone want to be in a mock draft community or an NHL draft community? We had a lot of people, 200 comments, 354 likes. So that was cool. I honestly I have no idea where the questions are at this point. But we'll just go back to these questions here. I'm going to share this tab. We're going to go back to the scores. Blues are down again. Jets, the Leafs lost. So let's take a look at the tank rankings. And you guys can see this if you go to Tank Race. They are still 6. Seattle needs to win for them, huh? Oh, I mean, they have 2 games to play, but they got to win both those games, and Seattle's been kind of butt. Really interesting. Verhoff will likely become the steal of this draft if he falls out of the top 3. I agree. I could totally see that. Verhoff shouldn't take a tumble. I would say top 5. If he falls out of the top 5, he'd be the biggest steal. Because there's no reason for that. But if he falls out of the top 3, I could see why. I just could. Thunderbirds are a wagon. Korch also finally turning the corner. Thunderbirds have been a development, just incredible development in the WHL. You've redeemed Mirka. You got Grayson Sawchin at one point, who was one of the most skilled players. Braden Coots, Korchinski. I'm missing some names, but I really like what the Thunderbirds do year in and year out. I know they're retooling a little bit. They traded Korch, but do you think Tynan Lawrence will fall to 20 to 30 like Brad Lambert did a few years ago? I don't know. I think he has to be in the top 15 at least. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, if he's not, the Canucks got some. They could go defense and they get a guy like Tynan. Pittsburgh has finally officially punched their playoff ticket. So let's see here. Pittsburgh, 98 points, second. Incredible season for them. Do you guys remember when everyone thought that they were going to win the lottery? It was just going to be given to them. I always thought that was kind of funny. Let's see. But I appreciate everybody that is joining in the live stream and as well as joining in on the communities, because we're really trying to build something here. And then after, I promise I'm going to be doing a mock draft with everybody. So if you guys want to use the mock draft simulator I made, go ahead, join. You can just do guest. It's completely free. I'm just going to say this. I'm just tweeting out so we get more people in here that didn't know I was going live. But drop your questions here if you guys have any. All right, let's go back to questions. Any thoughts on Rubric? I really like. I really like Rubric. I think that when you get a guy that is that size, some let's say 6'4", 6'3.5", whatever it is, but he scored 40 goals in the O year ago, and then he has put up really good point production this year. This is a guy that you got to take in the top 20. I don't think he should fall as much as people are saying, but the thing is, there is some concerns about engagement, his passion to go all in. 30 goals this year, 49 games. This is a guy that has a lot of upside, but you don't know if he's going to be the guy that's going to put it all together. I still like the chance. I still think you take the chance. Let's see. Anybody have other questions? I'm just viewing some hockey right now. I'll check my DMs just to make sure. The Canes scored, so it's 3-2. They just scored. And I also want to pull up the Michigan game. We'll start talking Michigan. And yeah. But Wisconsin, what a run they've had, man. All the stuff I talked about, like that team playing an old style, and it's hard for prospects to go there and do well, and then they do that. Charlie Stramel, he left. I don't understand. Like, they've been crazy good. What a run. They did a really good job. They really have done a good job. 2-1, Michigan is up. Heck yeah, man. Can you send me a DM now? Anybody who wants to send me a DM now, just do it. I'll try to get any comments or anything like that. But I just want to know what you guys think I should be doing more on my live streams. I just like to talk as much hockey as possible. It's why I'm here. That's the value in it. My interviews and stuff. Not a lot of people have tried to get interviews as much as me, honestly, or get the interviews. Like people like Chris Peters, they could totally do it if they wanted to, but these guys are very, very busy with other things. So like Cam Robinson, like they can get it. I just have tried like and emailed as many people as I possibly could to get them. But at the same time, like these, I just get them because I've tried hard. Like these guys can totally do that. Stankoven is a second. I'm not gonna lie about that. Like those guys do a great job. The thing is, on a lot of these prospect interviews and stuff, I ask like the same questions because I feel like it's the valuable questions or stuff. So like player comp, underrated aspect of their game, something their teammates don't know about them that fans probably don't. Like these things I feel like are important. Show their personality, show who they modeled their game after, kind of things. If there's any questions that you guys have that you think I should ask these prospects, comment them down below or DM me when you think of it. Like I'm always open to grow and open to learn and things like that. Like I'm like 15 months into this, so there's so many things. I don't know if you know this, but do sports bars put the lottery on the TV at their restaurants? I have no idea. That's a really great question. I wish streamers could actually stream the lottery so that you can be anywhere and watch it. But I'm pretty sure if they have ESPN or NHL Network or whatever it is, you can just ask them. They probably have it on in Canada. They'll have it on in Toronto. They should have it at some bars in Chicago. Like a lot of these things. How about doing polls? Yeah, we could do polls. Can I do them here? Let me see this. This is like one of my 8th times doing it on StreamYard, but that's a great thing to do polls. I should do more polls online too. I think I have to do polls on X. I don't think it allows me to do them here. That is a shame. It's a really good one. Because I want to do a watch party with my friend at a sports bar. That would be so fun. Take-a-thon update 5 hours ago. Blackhawks get 3rd. They are choosing Chase Reed. That it doesn't really mean anything. Chase Reed, the mock draft doesn't mean nothing on Take-a-thon. Take-a-thon does a great job and they're really good, but that doesn't. Yeah. And that's probably team need too, because the Blackhawks are the 2nd worst team right now. So they probably have Stenberg or McKenna. I don't think the Blackhawks would go right-handed defenseman. Thoughts on Eddie Doyle, Braden Klimke? That's a really good question. Carson, what's up, man? So Carson does a lot of incredible work doing scouting reports and stuff, and he just showed me them, and I'm very impressed. So we're gonna have to get some stuff going there. Let me go in the tracker. I want to see exactly. Give me 1 second refreshing this game. Let me know if Eddie's in your top 100. Eddie is not in my top 100 right now. He's in the queue, so I haven't really looked at a lot of his games. But he has good size. Sorry, I'm watching this game. Has good size, 6'4". Not a lot of production in the queue, but he's probably more of a defensive defenseman. I'd have to do a lot more live viewings on these guys on Instat. So let me get back to you on both of these guys. Let's see. Depending on how you're doing your stream, I guess based on format is StreamYard. Not sure. You can only do poll live on YouTube. Also, DM sent sweet. CBG just lost. They can't catch Boston in regular wins. Wow. Let's go to the scores. Like I said, this is on draftprospectshockey.com. I've been working 8 months on this thing. I've used a lot of tools, but at the same time, it's finally getting to where I could release the beta last week. So if you guys want me to show you around on the website. But yeah, Columbus got murdered by the Sabres, and you could go to the playoffs here. Yeah, that was a big loss for them, but good for Columbus in terms of having a 90-point season. They really needed this, and they have some really good prospects coming up soon. Really big fan of guys like Jackson Smith, Andrianov, the goalie, who's coming in 2080. So you guys can see him then. No, he signed a KHL deal for 2030. Brad Lambert. And I got you. I knew that you were saying Brad Lambert. I was watching Grav's stream that one year because I wasn't making content. And I know he had him really high, but it was really a shame to see. Denver is tied at 2. Nice. I like Michigan a lot, but I love me some Eric Polkamp. I have an interview with him. Really great dude. As a Canucks fan, worst nightmare in the Flames win the draft because I keep seeing those gifs on Insta of future Flame Gavin McKenna. Gavin McKenna was a Flames fan growing up, so that's kind of why. And that's one of the reasons that I don't know if he's necessarily would be thrilled if the Blackhawks or the Canucks didn't get him. Because I think that's kind of where he wants to go. And because he grew up watching Patrick Kane. He grew up watching the Flames. His cousin, his 8th cousin is Connor Bedard, which I asked Connor Bedard about. Gavin McKenna likes him. I'm still a fan of Kane Lindstrom. I think he'll truly show his bounce back next season. Yeah, he was hurt. Back injury, 6'4". He was obviously the 4th overall pick, but most importantly, he's the reason that Demidov is not on the Blackhawks. Obviously, the Columbus Blue Jackets had a trade in place with the Blackhawks for the 4th pick for their 2025 first and 2025 second round pick. So it would have been kind of Anton Frondell and Mason West for Demidov. Honestly, you could kind of go in either direction there if Mason West booms, but Demidov obviously would be the better piece, but I think Frondell's fantastic. So I think it all worked out in the end for both teams, obviously more for the Habs, but it didn't really work out necessarily for the Blue Jackets because the Blue Jackets took a guy that already had injuries and you kind of knew that you were taking a chance. And also they had a first and a second on board, but you're already forward. Why are you going to trade a first? I got Doyle 97, Klimke 72. I think they're both super good values at that range for teams with multiple picks there. With Doyle, it's just the 6'4" size is what you want in a defenseman. And I feel like there's going to be value there. And I want your opinion on guys let me actually know, Carson, what's your opinion on Barabanov, Igor Barabanov. He was 4th in OHL scoring this year, and he's obviously an overager, but I want your opinion on him because he's somebody that I think could be good value too, and he's in the 90s on some lists. And when when I look at him, even like a guy like Thomas Galvis, do you have Thomas Galvis in your top 100? Let me know. And I'm going to be doing, I'll talk about these guys in my next stream. I'm just going to watch some more film. Like, I'm not going to talk about a guy unless I actually know a lot about them. You know what you should do is you should allow people to choose different drafts and then do a consensus. That includes your website and all major scouting websites for hockey. Wait. So, all right. What I'm going to do and what I'm in the process of doing now is I have the draft databases, and in the draft databases, I want there to be a button right here that says redraft, and you're going to be able to redraft any of the drafts in the database. And right now, I can only get in the top three or the last three, because it's really hard to put in all like these guys and all this. It is a ton, and I was going to partner with somebody to do this. We haven't had time to call, so I did it myself. But I want to have a redraft. And when you go to the leagues and the scorings, I put every single scoring in here. And if you go to the prospect pools, I put every single prospect in on each team. So I feel like if a company wants to partner or anything like that, like this is a good website to do so. Like you can literally build your lineups with your with the NHL draft. No one has this. Like I thought about this one day and I was like, why is no one doing this? Like this is something that I think could be utilized in so many different ways. You could just be building your own rosters. You could be building your prospect pool. You have every prospect pool, AHL, like you have Mason West, USHL, obviously it says AHL, it doesn't know the difference, but you could put Mason West in here. You could put Tynan Lawrence in here. Like this is sick. So I feel like this is something, and you could trade anybody, any pick. I have all the picks here laid out nicely. The Blackhawks have all of these. Islanders, Toronto, whatever it is. You have the players here. Sasha Boisvert for probably Igor Shesterkin in 9 firsts. Like you can do anything you want, and then they would show up. So I feel like this is a really cool tool. If you guys are interested, like I think it's sweet. But I really want, Anthony, can you actually DM me? I want to know more about this because I'm doing a rankings page and we're going to have featured creators in it. I actually have it up. So I've been working on this a lot, but it's still not ready yet. I will say it's not ready yet. But look at this. I'm going to show you guys. You're getting first access, and I'm changing the color schemes, but it's going to be all like you can change all of your rankings, easily, seamlessly move your players exactly how you want. You can compare players. My computer has been frozen for a minute, but I'm going to have featured people. Like we're partnering with guys like Stephen Ellis, Blue Chip Prospect, Draft Prospects Hockey, which is my company, Nathan Grav, my rankings, your rankings. You can customize your own rankings and save them and share them out. So what do you guys think of this? This is something that I've been working on for a very long time, and it just hasn't looked great, but the compare button worked last time. Obviously, this is in beta, and I'm not even showing anybody other than the people in the stream. I really appreciate your support, but this is something that's coming very, very soon. I'm going to get it out way before the draft lottery happens, but you can create your own rankings. I have 3 different websites I'm working on right now, too, so it's just like, I have this, too, so I have a draft scout tool, and I want your guys' opinions on all of this, but let's see. So I'm just going to show you this. This is really no one's been on it, but I just created it. So this is a scouting generator, and I want to take AI out of it, but it was just too late. But we're going to do it. We're going to take AI out. But if you go Gavin McKenna, right, and then it'll actually post like my thoughts on it too. But you go like right wing, blah, 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 like 6 foot, 175 pounds, whatever it is, right? But you could do these, like shooting, skating, we'll give an 8, playmaking, we'll give a 9. I think he's elite. His compete, I'll give like a 6. Hockey IQ, I'll say 7. Defense 5. Shooting, I'll say 7. And then we'll go generate report. Let's see. All right, well, that was shit. Well, we're working on this. And hopefully I'll continue to do it and make it better. But this is the next thing that's in beta. So I'm trying to do like generate, but you're supposed to paste everything, all your like scouting reports on him and stuff like this. But I just got this into beta like last week, but it's going to show exactly what the scouting reports that Draft Pros does. So if you want to make your own, you can. So I feel like that's kind of cool. I don't know. I just made a website that I thought I would be very excited to go to, and that's kind of how it went. So I could just launch simulator from here. I changed out the layout, made it gold, but we'll go back to scores, see what's going on. Still 3-1 with the Canes tank. Did you see Canes like sat everybody? The Mammoth are up right now against the Red Hot Predators. The Avs are up 1-0 on the Flames. Wild 2-1 on Dallas. Dallas had a terrible couple of games, but they keep winning. I know that they needed to because they lost a lot, but a lot of the games they were playing with, they got gifted. There should have been a 5-minute major against, I believe, the Rangers or the Flames. I can't remember. One of the bad tank teams. The Habs continue to win. The Sabres look like they're legit. Do you guys think the Sabres are legit or they're still pretenders? All right, Chase Reed first overall. I don't see that happening. No way. But how are you doing, Jeffrey? This is, I think, their first time I'm seeing you on here, so really appreciate you coming out. Let's see. It's amazing. ND and Denver both made the Final Four despite all the turmoil regarding the teams last year. I was surprised North Dakota made it. I was not impressed with any of my viewings of them. When I went there to Western Michigan, obviously they're defending champs. They looked terrible. Don, do you think the Canadians draft Caden Lindstrom if that trade goes through? Great question. Yes. But in a redraft, could you imagine they go Cole Hudson, put both of them together on the power play, lane and goal? But I think they would. Caden Lindstrom was the guy there. It was not a bad pick for Columbus. I'm not going to hate on Columbus for picking the guy that I thought should have been picked there, but the back injury was bad. Because I have a back injury. I can barely walk. If you look at me right now, I'm like twisted. So I'm not even straight. That's one of the reasons I couldn't go to Las Vegas. I can't really walk right now. That's one of the reasons I'm always sitting. Like I had back surgery and 3 back procedures in 2025. I had back surgery in December, like late December, and I think I'm screwed up. I don't know what's going on, boys. It's really bad. But I know back injuries. I herniated my disc snowboarding in sophomore year of high school, and I still played like 3 seasons of 4 years of sports. I wasn't going to stop, like lacrosse, volleyball, basketball, soccer, like whatever. But no 4-year simulator is what I'm saying, as you should allow people to choose different draft boards from different websites. And then it does a consensus draft board. That's brilliant. Anthony, that's awesome. I'm definitely going to look into that. Great stuff. I haven't scouted either. I was going to do Barabanov tomorrow. I have a bunch of clips if you want me to send them to you, but I'll give you, I'll DM you. But Galvis played great at the World Juniors. Really good point production. I mean, he put up legendary points for Czech, I believe. Cam Robinson told me that he was like number 1 defenseman ever in scoring for the Czechs. I could be wrong. That might have some legal issues, but if you partner with the teams, the companies, you can. I know that Elite, like Draft Pros is already partnered with Elite Prospects because they put our rankings up. So if you guys want to see our rankings, it's on Elite Prospects. I'm really proud of that. That's freaking cool, boys. So everything is going like so well. I'm so thankful for everybody that has helped me and the company and everything go to where it is. Like, it's awesome. So thank you guys. I really do appreciate you so much. And we're going to continue to put out so much content. We hit 50 million views in 12 months already on all of our content. So that's awesome. And most of them are just prospect interviews. The glowing text pops. I like it. For which one? Please tell me. Are you talking about the hub? Not the prospect on hub. Sorry. What? Sorry. What's up, Don? Avoiding this Hawks game. What's up? Second City does great work. We're gonna get on a live stream or a video, something. But I've been trying to do a community mock with everybody, and it's just so hard to get everybody on. No one has the same schedule. Do you mean like have it pull mock draft data from several sources and note which sites have players ranked? Yeah, I think that he was going to do it. But what I can do is actually put the top creators, because we have like guys like Steven Ellis, Nathan Grav, the Blue Chip Prospect, NHL Draft Pros, Link from New Wave Hockey, the Bunker Boys. We have all those guys. Gabe Foley, Sam Terapak, something like that. Sorry, Sam. We have him. We have Sebastian High from Elite Prospects. I can try to reach out to, I know Chris Peters, Cam Robinson are coming out with their rankings. I have Scott Wheeler and Steven Ellis coming on next week to the show. So one's on Wednesday, one's on Thursday. So it's going to be back to back. So we can get all these guys to do their feature. Like I could just ask them, hey, can I copy and paste your rankings and do a consensus board, or do draft against Scott Wheeler's, draft against Steven Ellis. So that's a really good idea. I'm actually going to really think about that. Your league page doesn't include NCAA. Yes, it does, sir. Let's see. Oh, you mean here. I thought it did. Sorry, sir. It has, the scores are junior pages, but I'll get on to the NCAA. So you can go here. You can like see this. You know, if you guys, like I said, let me know what you guys actually like think of it. If you guys have input on this, I want it to be the go-to for prospects. Anything you guys want, but so I'm actually going to switch this. I know Michael Zeta told me that this does this, but I never switched it. But it goes to the top prospects, but you can actually look at any of these. Even like if you want to see 2016 playoffs, like Connor Brown, but like anything you guys want. And for some reason it goes down, so you have to press that, but I'll get on that. But Caleb Malhotra has 12 points in 5 playoff games. What a stud, dude. 7 goals. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Blackhawks are down 4-1 now. Let's go. I got some bad news with the Blackhawks today, so I'm kind of upset a little bit. I wanted to try to get back in practice, and it is what it is. I won't talk about it. Sabres are legit. They did this last year, but I'm sorry. I will put on the NCAA page. I will. But it was a bad day today. Sabres are legit. They did this last year too, had an incredible run in the second half, just fell short of the postseason. You know, it's really funny. And if there's Sabres fans out there, you can get mad at me, but it was always funny that it was a reverse of what happened. They fell off before the postseason, but every season they were rebuilding. You would go to the Tankathon odds and there was like 10 games left and they were like second or third. And every time they would go on a 5-game winning streak for no reason and ruin their draft pick. So it's so funny that they did the opposite last year. It's like, oh my gosh, the Sabres are a great team now, and they've done so many great moves where I thought, why would you trade Dylan Cousins? Why would you trade JJ Petarka? Like, what are you doing? There's Bowen Byram, whatever it was. They worked it out. They figured it out. Congrats on them. Congrats to their fan base. Seriously, I'm really happy for them. I feel you with the health stuff. Been dealing with heart issues for a year and a half. Sorry. I don't know if I should say that. I really am sorry to hear that, man. That's a lot tougher than what I'm dealing with. So if you ever need a DM me or anything, like, let me know. Like, health issues have been a part of my life for a while. So I hope everything's okay with you, man. Who do you think is the first D +1 player to be taken in this draft? This is a great question. I'm going to take a chance and say Barabanov. I don't think Galvis will go that high. I know he's ranked higher than him projected wise, but at the same time, you look at the 5'11" size. I think some team will think that they can get him in the 5th or 6th round or sign him as a free agent. The glowing text when you see the players like Evan McKenna at 51 points, it was glowing on that page. I love that. So we're going to continue to have that feature. Last one before I go. Biggest surprise in round 1 will be Malte Gustafsson. I actually agree. Malte Gustafsson's brother, Viggo Gustafsson, was drafted to the Predators in 2024. So I think that could be an option. They're both playing with each other in HV71. So in Sweden, really like Malte Gustafsson. I'm actually higher on William Hawkinson. I'll tell you a funny story, but William FaceTimed me after Sweden won gold at the World Juniors, and I will always have a soft spot for him, but I was already high on him already. 6'4", really good defenseman, kind of like a Nicholas Chalmerson. With Malte Gustafsson, there's a little more high risk, high reward there. And Olsen, for me, it's like I've been high on him for a little bit. I believe, I think, I don't, obviously this is just a complete wild guess, but I can't see him going past pick 25. If he did, I think it would be really interesting. Now, where does Draft Pros have them? Let's see. I'm going to go to the Draft Pros rankings. I think we got them our top 32. Tank is secure 4-1. No, it's not yet. You never know. We have Nick Lardis. We need Melody Martin to make a comeback. I hope somewhere Radim Merca is smiling. I love Radim Merca. Before the draft, I was walking with Marco D'Amico and Cam Robinson. We were going to get a beer, and I just see Radim Merca, and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" I was like, "You remember me holding that?" Honestly, the draft prospects that remember me, it makes me feel really happy. And he came up, we dapped up. I was like, "This is sweet." And then we sat next to Mason West was at the booth to our left, and then James Hagen's whole family was sitting down because they had a reservation. And guess who sat down right after? The whole table cleared out for 15 minutes. And then Matthew Schaefer and his entire family walk in and sit down. And we were like, Hagens is going to the aisles. Hagens is going to the aisles. We all thought like that meant that. So, and Matthew Schaefer like went to the bathroom like 2 or 3 times. So he's drinking his water. Don't worry. Like that man he was ready. Devils desperately need Oscar Hemming. Also, he is a perfect. I actually want to talk about Oscar Hemming here. This is the exact guy I want to talk about today. Oscar Hemming, to me, is a bulldozer. He hits like Brady Martin. He's taller. He can add a lot more size. You put this guy at 225, he might kill someone. 8 points in 19 games off of a year off of hockey almost. At least 8 months because he couldn't play the first half of the season. Incredible job. Like, this is a guy. Now, here's a guy that kind of reminds me of Patrick Mahomes. No, but like he has so much in the toolbox. This is a guy that I could totally see the Panthers trading down for. Like, I just see him on the Panthers. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense for them to take him at 6, but it didn't really make sense at this time last year for the Predators to take Brady Martin at 5. So Oscar Hemming is the youngest player in the NCAA, and what he did in those first couple of games was fantastic. I think he had 6 points in 8 games. Obviously, he tailed off a little bit, but it could be conditioning issue, could not. I don't know what happened. But at the same time, this guy is a player. He can do a lot of good things in the NHL. It did make a lot of sense. But going back to this time last year when Brady Martin was ranked 12th, exactly where Oscar Hemming was, and you put Brady Martin in a mock draft for the Predators before you knew where the Predators landed, it was because I think they were the 3rd worst team or something. Yeah, they were. because where were they? Well, somehow the Islanders jumped them and the Utah Mammoth jumped them. And I thought it was so it would have had to be, yeah. So they were the third worst team. So if you put Brady Martin at 3 last year or whatever it was, everybody would have put pitchforks in your comment section. But the thing about Brady Martin was a lot of people like Stephen Ellis, who's been watching this guy for a long time, was telling people that he was going to go top 5. But at this time last year, I have this up, we can actually go to this. And 78 days left. Wow, that flew by. That 12 days flew by. Oh, man. This is going to be quick until the NHL draft. I will be there if they allow me to again. Obviously, they allowed me to last year, so I don't see why they wouldn't, as well as the combine. But for this time last year, 78 days before the draft, putting Brady Martin in your top 5 was not something you did. You put him at top 8, maybe. But it did make a lot of sense for the Predators. Oh, of course, but that's why the draft lottery matters. Of course, yeah. The draft lottery changes everything. But people were telling me Caleb Desnoyers may have went to, like, what was going to go after Brady Martin. Because they thought that the Utah Mammoth were going to go 4. And actually, I will say this, because now it's over. I accidentally got emailed off of a Utah Mammoth scout from an agency that was trying to interview Anton Frondell. So Utah was very interested in Anton Frondell at one point. They put me in the thread. I think he thought I was with the Seattle, he thought I was with Utah Mammoth in the beginning of the season. So they put me in a thread. I thought that was kind of interesting. I'm going to read both of your last 2 comments, Anthony. I'm sorry about that. I skipped over. I did a draft where Panthers got the number 1 overall pick. I traded out with San Jose. Then they drafted Keaton Verhoff. I could see that happening, but I could see that happening more at 3. So San Jose trades up and then goes to 3 somehow. I don't know. But I got 11, 17, and I drafted Oscar Hemming. So and Brooks Rogowski. So here's the thing. Sorry, this thing is trouble here. I don't know. I can't make my little circle bigger. But the number 1 pick to go from 11 to 17, or to go from 11 to 17, I guess, yeah. You would also need a pretty good prospect and maybe another first. Because you're giving up McKenna and then going all the way down to 11 and only picking up 17. You would actually get more. So the Panthers could rack up money if they actually wanted Oscar Hemming. And they could actually do that. And Brooks Rogowski, 6'6" center, really good in the OHL this year. Could totally see that being the case too. Really like this trade, but I also think the Panthers could get even more on it. So I like that. Brady Martin for Nashville made a lot of sense. Oh, I also have to go to your other question. 1 sec. Yes, sorry. Oscar Hemming at 11 and Brooks Rogowski at 17. Yeah, so exactly what I thought there. But at the same time, like, Panthers would probably get more, and that's good for you. You're a Panthers fan. And, Anthony, the Panthers won back-to-back Stanley Cups. That really hurts other fans there that you could get McKenna number 1. So, oh, man. But congratulations. I would be very happy if I was in your situation. I was eyeballing Desnoyers for Boston, but when Hagens was there, it had to be him. Love Hagens. If you don't know, I think you commented, but doing a Hagens jersey giveaway with an incredible person as well as a creator. Drop the Mets. I love this guy. Chris is fantastic. We'll do a score check. Sorry, Trevor. (4-1). It's saying 14 minutes. This is not live. I'm not honestly sure why. What the French toast? Let's see. Still 4-1. Oh, the 14 minutes and 11 seconds is in the intermission. So this is for the intermission timer. I have to actually put that in. I like that it gives you an intermission timer, but on here it says period 2, so it is end of period 2. So this is how long it is left. Oh wait, sorry, here. So I'm gonna change this to intermission. Everything, it's just still a beta. So, oh, also I have a Stenberg versus McKenna video coming out soon, and I also have Nikita Klepov interview, Landon DuPont interview, a JP Hurlburt interview, Vladimir Jurvecki interview. I got Bill Zonin, Jack Ivankovic. Let's see. I'm redropping and repurposing my Matthew Schaefer interview. I just dropped the Connor Bedard interview. I'm gonna get Jake O'Brien, I believe, during the off season. I went out with Jake O'Brien's dad over for some dinner when I was in Brantford. Really nice guy. Jake O'Brien is an awesome player. I also have a Jackson Smith interview that I have to drop. I waited a little bit with the Penn State. He's awesome. Really great guy there. Best Bedard I've seen this year. For the interview or his game today. But the Blackhawks are unfortunately not going to let me probably go back to the playoffs. To a practice. So, and everyone that's been rooting for me out there, it's not going to happen, boys. They see me more as a prospect guy, so that was tough. I wanted to give interviews that were talking about players' strengths, seeing their personalities a little bit, but they see me more as the prospect guy. So, I am prospect on, but Draft Pros Hockey is supposed to follow all the prospects and players that have been drafted. As a Penguins fan, can I suggest getting Cale Dock interview? I'll reach out for sure. On top of 2 draft picks in the trade, what prospects do you think the Panthers should ask for? You know what? They really wanted if they're getting Verhoff, I would ask for Eric Polkamp. I would ask for Quentin Musty if they said no to that. Igor Chernyshov would be a lock there. I would see about Victor Eklund and them retaining 50% of that contract. Yeah, Askarov maybe too. Askarov, actually, I would ask for Ravensbergen. Askarov or Ravensbergen. That's Trevor actually got it. He hit it. You need a goalie. Bobrovsky's going to leave. He's only getting older. Yeah, Trevor hit it on the nail here. So, one goalie in that trade for sure. Yeah, that's it. If you could add only one player to the Blackhawks, would it be Gavin McKenna or Landon DuPont? I think it would have to be Gavin. Gavin McKenna fits exactly what the Blackhawks need as a elite Ivan Demidov-esque winger now. And the Blackhawks already have Artie and Rinzel, but at the same time, if you still I still believe in Artie, but if you wanted to try to sell one of Sam Rinzel or Artem Levshinov and keep Landon DuPont as your number 1 locked and loaded right-handed defenseman, then I could see that situation. But you would need a really high-level elite forward. I would circle back to the Leafs and say, hey, I need Matthew Nyes for Artem Levshinov if you're doing this. I wouldn't want to do that unless you're getting Landon DuPont. There's no reason. I'm a big Artie guy, not big enough to take him over Demidov, but I have full belief in him. And I think that Gavin McKenna would be the perfect fit for the Blackhawks, as well as he's also Bedard's 8th cousin. Yeah, see, Artie even said, Trevor said, you're selling Artie this year if you know you're getting DuPont. Artie is worth 3 firsts at least. I'm not sure if he's worth 3 firsts. And if he is, that's his max. And those 3 firsts would not be top 10 picks. Like with the Sharks trade 11, 17 in their 2027 first round pick for Artie and maybe some change, I think that they probably would do that. But you're not going to get like 5th overall, 7th overall, 9th overall for Artie. But that's actually a good point. Do you think Artie's worth 3 first-round picks? I honestly have no idea. Yeah, Michigan and Denver are tight 2-2 going into the third. I've been keeping up with that on the side. Artie for Price and their picks. You really want Price for the cap. I do need to go on Anthony. And the 2027 draft, I understand it's too early. Who is a player out of Finland I should be focusing on? Well, overseas players in the 2027 draft class is probably an easier question because right now, I'll go to Finland, but I mean, because there's not a lot in the top 7 right now in Finland, but if you go to Sweden in the U20s right now, you have Milan Sudstrom, you have 3 Canadians who are doing well, Landon DuPont, Jacobson, Alexei Joseph, Carter Meyer is playing for the NTDP right now. I've reached out to his team, could not get him yet. Sammy Nelson is also playing for the NTDP team. So you have Nazar as well. I'll continue. You know, Miska, I guess, 24 points in 36 games is intriguing, but I haven't watched. Rocco Pelosi is also one that I thought that was going to have a bigger year this year in the NTDP for the US U17 team. I actually was talking to people that thought he could be the number 2 pick next year, and he's obviously American. There's 3 really good Americans in the class. James Scantlebury. Actually, I have credentials to all the USHL games. I have the yearly pass, and I watched James Scantlebury a couple times. He is so good, so raw though. Like, this is a guy that can really do some damage. Nazar Privalov from the MHL is very, very dominant. This dude's 6'4". Just a wrecking ball out there too. So that's a tough one for Finland because I haven't really seen or heard of anyone that is popping out in a way. And I want to give you the best answer I can. But at the same time, like, there's only 4 guys that are even on the radar in Finland right now for 2027. And none of them are, to me, worth talking about at this point. But I love this question. I wish you said like overseas. It would have been a lot easier to answer, but that's it. Anthony always brings the great questions. I love me some Anthonys. I'm an Anthony. My dad was an Anthony, so got to stick together, boys. Could you see Tynan Lawrence being this year's big faller in the first round, perhaps dropping into the late teens? If he goes to the late teens, it's not a drop to me. In terms of biggest drop, I feel like the biggest drop would be from somebody that was like Mathis Preston, where you go from like top 10, top 15 after summer scouting, and then top 30 and maybe fall out of the first round. Or a guy like Villeneuve, same thing. Top 12 projected in summer scouting. Even some people had him in 7, 8, 9, 10 range. Got hurt, played 36 games, played 35 games, scored 36 points in the queue. Wanted to see more, and also his height might not be 5'11". So, yeah, we have 8 likes right now on YouTube. Heck yeah, boys. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. So at the same time, like, that could be a faller for sure. But I don't see Tynan Lawrence really. I think that he could go anywhere from like 8 to 16 at this point. I think that it would be a mistake if he wasn't a top 12 pick. But I mean, he's elite defensively. I got to talk to him. I talked to Colton St. Clair, his team, or his coach from Muskegon. This is a great guy. This is a guy that, his coaches and his players around him thought that he could be the next Celebrini. He even took that route, USHL to BU, and it just didn't work out at that time. BU was also a terrible team. I don't want him to fall his entire draft stock just because of one bad thing. If your team takes Tynan Lawrence, be very excited because you're getting a potential really elite defensive center that could be like a Jesper Bratt, or Heischer, and he was Corey Pronman's number one a couple months ago. Add Korch if that gives unprotected in 2027. No, what I would not. EDM already a Korch for 3 for no. Just sign someone to a 1-year deal. You do not have to do all that. If you want prospects, watch the 2026 IIHF juniors. I'm gonna be. Oh, well, I watched the World Juniors, but yeah, I definitely am gonna do that. I watch all the hockey, baby. So Frank has 2 first names. Yes. Because Nazar Priglov. Canucks fan here. If the Canucks drop to 3, should they go best player available, draft Reed, or go positional value and draft Malhotra? Well, here's the thing. I think that Verhoff, Reed, Smits, and Malhotra are kind of near the same tier, so you can go anywhere. So I feel like best player available, the gap is lowering. If the Canucks drop, you better pray that Chicago is not 2 or 1. Why? Sorry, I didn't mean to send that twice. It helps the algorithm, so I'll read it again. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So let's go back to. You guys want to do a mock draft? You guys want to do a little mock draft? I can sign in. I'll show you exactly what to do. You press the guest. You put your name in. I'm Prospect Don. And I'm going to create a room. So if you guys want to use this code here, XVADK6. So I'm going to put it in the chat. I'm actually going to pull up YouTube because I know I can only do it on YouTube. You might hear my screen for a second. Let's see. Just pulling it up. We've gained 8 subscribers while I've been on. Heck yeah. 20 people are watching. All right. 13 likes. Thank you, everybody. So here's the code. And I'm going to show you exactly where this website is. Oops. So if you guys sign in as guests, you go to here, and then you're in. We have 22 people watching on YouTube, and that's awesome because we just started out doing this. But 250 on X. So thank you guys for watching. I'm going to take a quick commercial break. Oh, we have 3 people already on. Harrison Baldwin, Chris, and Andrew. So heck yeah, we already got 3. When it starts, you're going to be able to lock your teams in. We have 5 people on now. This is a great one. I'm going to do a quick little. I'm going to put this on. I have to go pee real quick, but I'll be back on before the mock draft.
You play with Victor Eklund, and you guys have some really good chemistry. Can you kind of tell me a little bit about his game?
He's competing so much. We've been playing, a couple of seasons now together through juniors and now to the pro team in Djurgården. We know each other well. He's so good around the on the boards, winning his battles. He's not the biggest guy, even though he's strong. But when he gets into battles, somehow he almost wins everything. So for me, it's just easy finding an open area, finding a spot where I can shoot the puck and his passing quality is incredible, and playmaker, like hockey sense too. It's good, and like I said, we know each other well. We're good friends, so it's fun and easy to play with him.
Hello, I'm back. We are back, and we have 5 people on, so we're gonna get this set up. Gonna go to comments to see if anyone else. Please let me have the Canucks. Did I miss the questions from Discord? No, sorry. I'm gonna be doing that. We're doing a mock draft right now. ASAP. That's your name, but we will be doing a mock draft right now. I will not pick Canucks, Andrew. I will let you have it if you want it. Anthony, are you coming in? Best player available for the Canucks. They pick 3. Well, it's Canucks. Yeah, best player available tiers are Verhoff, Reed, Caleb Malhotra, and Smits. All right, we're going to get this going. All right, pick the Canucks as quick as possible. You just click it. It's right here. I'll go with the Blues have 3 picks if anyone wants to do the Blues. I'll go New Jersey. Colorado doesn't have a pick, so I'll just select them. I'll do Blues. What? Wait. Here, we're going to actually leave out and then click it again. Go to create room again. It went too quick. I hit it too quick. So once you're in, you got to do it fast. Here's the new link. It's just the same link, but a new code. But once you're in, you do bang, bang, bang. I thought I updated it, but I guess it's still a bug in there. But you leave the lottery, or you leave and then come back. All right, we had 6 people in, so. Sorry, this is it. This is it. We need 2 more. Sorry about that, guys. Just pick them as quick as possible. All right, one more. And I'll be running these nearly every day. No. Just select as many as you can. We'll get like 4 or 5 picks each. I edited this, but since I'm putting in more, I guess the bug is still there. It was supposed to have 0 timer. No. You get as many as you want. We had 1 more. I like the bottom ticker. Thank you. That was a little idea inspired by my dog. And I restarted my computer before I got on, but it's still bugging. Okay, we got it. Planet is in. As soon as you go, Andrew gets Canucks, but everybody else. Now we need your dog's name. Jack. Hey. Okay, we'll do it after. All right, pick as quick as possible. If anybody actually wants the Blackhawks, you guys can take that. What the heck? Why is it doing that? It never does this, but now it's doing it. All right, I could actually give you guys the picks, though. I could trade them to you guys. So Andrew's up first with the Canucks. Can you pick? Take your time, but let me know. Is the draft deep enough for a team to trade back from 3? Yes, 100%. It's very similar tiers from 3 to 6. I don't know why it wouldn't let me. All right, whoever got the Blues is going to get this pick. See, I might have to edit this up again. I just did it. I don't know why it's doing this now. I might need to edit it up before we go on it again. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. It's not working today. I will run one with you. I'm so sorry. I don't know why it's doing this. I'm gonna try to get this bug fixed while we're live. So stay patient. I just did this like 10 days ago and there's still bugs. I thought it would be fixed. Um, we'll see. I don't know why it's doing that. It bugged out. It's been working for the last 5 days. I've tried this, but every time I'm live, that's when it screws up. I even tested it before today. But if you guys, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get it fixed now, but I might need your guys' help. And if I run like a multiplayer tonight and it doesn't work, I might need you guys to join in to see if it works because it's working locally. If Ottawa wins the cup, pick 32 is no longer a punishment. Go Sens. That's funny. What do you guys think about that? The $1 million CAD for that. Yeah, I'm really sorry. That always stinks. But do you guys want to build a roster? We can actually pick a team. We're going to go in and build one. I will do a mock draft with you guys. I promise it is loading. But pick a team and we're going to rebuild them using draft classes as well. So this is team selects. You can pick any team you want. You can see their entire prospect pools on this list and kind of just play with this here. So if you guys are still in here, I totally understand if you're not because it's screwed up. But if you guys are in here and you guys want to do this, kind of play along and rebuild a team. And let me do some Discord questions because I know we had some Discord questions. St. Louis with all their picks. Boston and go back to 2015 draft. JK, we don't need to talk about the 3 first-round picks and oof. So we have a vote for St. Louis and a vote for Boston. But let me know what you guys want. I'm going to be answering these questions. So just going to give them some time. Who do you genuinely believe wins the draft lottery? That's the first question. And Canes shortly. The tank is definitely on. Did they score? Oh, no. No, it's 5-2. You scared me. All right, so what are my genuine thoughts in who wins the draft lottery? I genuinely think it's going to be the Canucks. There's no team that needs it more. Thoughts on Adam Valentini? I like his season. Like I said, 25 points in 38 games for Michigan. He's played well with the limited time on ice he's had because so many incredible players. Crevier, goal, assist, Frondell. I like the assist, Frondell. Frondell on Hattie watch. What's going on in the game? Did they score again? Let me know. I'm not watching. Wait, let me pull it up. No, it's 5-2. Then how is Frondell on Hattie watch? I'm a little confused. Frondell has 2 goals? Vice versa. Frondell has 2 goals? See, like I said, I would be happy if the Blackhawks won and Frondell got 2 goals. Let's see. We'll go to GM mode. I'm just going to – my thoughts on Valentini are very high. I feel like he's a really good player that has just gotten hurt by his size because I asked him if he was 5'11". He said he was. But it sounds like he could be more 5'9" range. And also what happened with Kitchener. A lot of people don't like that. So seems like Hurlbert is a very divisive prospect. Have seen him ranked as high as 10 to 12, but some outside of the top 20. I like JP Hurlbert. He actually is more physical than a lot of people think. He put up incredible numbers with the Blazers this year and go over 100 points. And you have to be very talented to do that. Him and Nathan Bame have really good chemistry together. So I'm high on Hurlbert. The one thing about Hurlbert is when he hits, he leads with his hands and he pushes off, so it breaks a lot of leverage for other opponents. And I do feel like that could be a little scary because Kirby Dach hurt himself like that, and that kind of hurt his career. Thoughts on Ryan Lynn? You know, Ryan Lynn was ranked 4th on EP in December, and I feel like Ryan Lynn is just that guy that size is going to be an issue, but he's a thicker player. He kind of has that kind of Connor Bedard build a little bit. Like the legs are buffy, you know, tough to push off the puck, offensively skilled, fun guy, playing well with the Giants. And there was one time actually before Preston was there, Preston stick lift Ryan Lynn behind the net. Ryan Lynn didn't even know he was there. There wasn't really any defensive awareness on that specific play. And Mathis Preston skated above the circles near the blue line and shot, and it went in, and there was about a minute left in the third period. So that really was something that was kind of telling, and there's sometimes that Ryan Lynn doesn't know where he is, but at the same time, I love his game. I feel like he should be a top 20 pick, but there could be a situation where he falls out of there. But right-handed defensemen usually go higher, but under 6 feet, defensemen usually go lower. We do have a Mathis Preston thing. Who should the Canucks pick with the wild pick? Preston, maybe one of the Rucks. I think that the Canucks, I've been on Sportsnet 590, and I had a lot of questions about the Rucks, about a wild pick at 24, whatever it is. And then the Canucks take Marcus at 33, so Liam at 24, Marcus at 33. You have to pick them together. That's the full value utilized. Looks like they may stay in the game. Might look worse than it was like last season. I think it was Tongue got taken out in the semis. Wow. Hicks, Denver netminder is down and doesn't look good. Possible loss of consciousness on ice. Is back up and the consciousness is now, but it didn't look great. Great save. But he took a rough hit to the head as Spence was hit him on a breakaway. Malcolm Spence. Oh, that's too bad. Malcolm Spence plays very hard. I asked him at the combine. He uses a lot of intensity in those playoff games. You saw it Erie Otters last year with a guy like Misiak. Sorry, not Michael Misa, but Misiak, and that's just tough. He's a hard player. He plays hard. Obviously, I gotta watch the clip. Looks like he may stay in the game. That's really good. A couple weeks ago, I was playing like football and baseball, and I sat down and I lost consciousness. So that was pretty bad. And I started season out. So kind of bad. So understand head injuries. I've had 3 concussions. But yeah, I don't know. I shouldn't have said that. It was pretty bad. What shocking NHL Draft Day trade would you like to see? I'd like to see Victor Eklund moved to the Islanders. William Eklund moved to the Islanders. William Eklund was one of the worst plus minuses in the entire year this year. Not sure why. Really talented player. Kind of want to see that happen. Taylor Hall scored. Oh, crazy. He's staying in the game. The hit looked awful, but definitely all in the look of it. And by no stretch something you're blaming Spence for. I love me some Spence. Who would the Hawks take with 1-0A? McKenna for sure. Sorry. Former Blackhawks scoring, and the Blackhawks always happens. Thank God, boys. The Blackhawks really needed to lose this game. And Frondell scoring 2, that's huge. Let's actually take a little screenshot for Frondell tweet. Just want to see the goal. And let me know what you guys think of Frondell. What is his upside? This guy looks like he's legit. Wow. I'm going to show you guys the goal. Oops, sorry. I might get demonetized for that. But I think I can show this. This is the goal from Frondell. For people that were watching, little nice quick hands, deflection, really good pass from Crevier, like you guys had said. God, he's going to be a killer around the net. What is Frondell has 5 points in 5 games, so 7 points in 6, right? 6 points in 8 games. That doesn't seem. So 8 points in 9 games now. Okay. You guys are seeing this live. He did say that. Told the reporters. I asked him a bunch of questions. I was so excited. I got him for 10 minutes. And I do have a full interview with Anton Frondell. It's the first English interview he's ever done one-on-one. So if you guys want to see that, definitely take a look. It was so awesome getting that. It took 8 months to book. I finally got it. Agreed, Bedard sucks. Okay. Well, I don't think he sucks. Oh, wow, you guys gave me a lot. Ryan Hartman, Blackhawks killer. Build the Blackhawks roster in 2028. Leave empty slots for drafts in 2026-27. Thoughts on Jack Hextall? Really like Jack Hextall. He's played really well for the Phantoms. I'm trying to get an interview with him immediately. I reached out to his team and the USHL. We have a little partnership. So I was actually on the Goudreau Award for the USHL. I was picking nominees, and as well as I'm on the board for Player of the Week. So that's been something cool. So I can totally get Jack Hextall for you guys. Frundell next to Bedard will be a bestie combination. Give it some time. I was talking to Jeff Blashill, the coach of the Blackhawks, and he said personally that he wants a center depth of Bedard, Frundell, Nazar, which I was surprised about. This Bedard guy is a bust. Frundell is going to get a Hattie. I doubt it happens. The Blackhawks don't have good depth right now. If Frundell gets a Hattie, I'd be mad. I didn't put money on it, but I don't bet anymore. Chicago needs to decide on Bedard being a center or a wing. Personally, I think wing would be better for him. I do too, but unless you get McKenna for him, so he could be a shooter and not worry so much about the defensive aspect. I think the exact same way, but I think that they're just trying to give it some time. 2027-28 will be our first truly good season of Nestersil Spellacy as our 2-3 seeds. They're not going to do that. They would not be our 2 or 3 seeds. Spellacy would be like probably on the 4th line, and Nestersil might. I don't think he'd be a center for sure, but I think that he could be. Nestersil, Bedard, and Frundell could honestly be a line. I would want McKenna there, but I'm a huge Nestersil guy. I actually love Nestersil. I've interviewed him countless times, and I actually got to spend the World Juniors Championship pregame with his parents. We were watching them warm up. He was giving pucks to kids, and it was awesome. If you could somehow get Brady move Bedard to the wing, Brady Martin? Oh, Brady to Chuck, obviously. Thoughts on Cale Nicole? This is an interesting one for sure. I don't think he's in my system. But he is, I think, 2029. But is he 2028? But if you don't know who he is, this guy put up like 150 points in 30 games. I think he's a 2028. I believe he's a 2028, but he's a 2030. Well, he's 14. Oh my God, it's 2026. I'm old. Wow. 2030 doesn't seem real. Dang. Sorry, guys. Bury me in my coffin. I'm 27 now. That's crazy. 2030 is 4 years away. I would say, like, the talent coming into the NHL is just fantastic. When a guy like Matthew Schaefer gets zero hype, it's kind of crazy. You had Bedard take away hype from Celebrini, and then you had Celebrini take away hype from Matthew Schaefer. Then you had McKenna taking hype away from Matthew Schaefer. Then you have McKenna taking hype away from Stenberg. And, you know, it's next year's DuPont. And, you know, you have Nazar next year and Sundstrom and Carter Myers. I mean, 2028, you have Maddox Schultz and Liam Pugh. And, well, 2028 actually has some good guys, I will say. It's just crazy the type of talent there is in the NHL. To be fair, Schaefer. Oh, I froze. Okay. To be fair, Schaefer broke his collarbone, so tons of people were skeptical. I'd say Hudson took some hype from him. Hudson definitely did, but as well as Demidov and what Celebrity was doing. But the thing about Schaefer is just think about. I was really big on the 2025 draft. That actually probably is my claim to fame because I was so big on it when I don't think a lot of people were. And at that time, obviously, last month of the draft it was, but I was like screaming at people since like November of that class. This is an incredible class. But just think about how good that class was when Schaefer went number 1 is putting up the points he's doing. Anton Frundell and Michael Misa will probably be stars. Porter Martone looks fantastic. James Hagen looks fantastic. Roger McQueen has been great going from Providence, which a lot of people didn't think that was a good fit for. Me included, I did not think that was a good fit for him. He played well. And then going to play for the Seagulls. And the AHL already is looking really good. You could see it. And then you have Merca getting traded. So teams already want a guy like Radim Merco, 6'6", right-handed defenseman, really good size, really good, put up good numbers in the WHL, but he's a defensive stout and played well at the World Juniors on kind of jet lag, honestly. And then you had like so many good players where Lyndon Lakovic went 27. Milton Gashrin went 37. Riker Lee went 29 or whatever. I think 29 or no, 28 maybe, because Mason West went 29, didn't he? And Václav Nestor went 25. Like Jackson Smith went 14, who the Columbus Blue Jackets had at 4, because that was such a good draft. Like Jake O'Brien, we haven't even talked about. Kindle has been great. Yes, that's going to be a draft that produces a lot of your best, like top of the line players on your team. And nobody was giving it credit. Not nobody, but the lack of hype in that class was just crazy. Frandell has 2 goals today. He has looked really good. Malcolm Spence went 42nd or 43rd because Prokhorov went 42nd to the Islanders, and then the Rangers got Malcolm Spence at 43. We had, I'm not looking it up. I'm not trying to. Draft meant something to me. You had Zarovsky go 33, no, 34. Yeah, 34, because Wang went 33. So that was just a phenomenal class. Like, I think about it sometimes. I'm like, wow, I missed that class. I honestly think that class was better than this class. And I don't know. I was just so zoned in on that class. 34 was the Blackhawks pick. No. Mason West didn't go 34 because they traded down to the Canes pick. So whatever the Canes pick was. Because they gave up 2 seconds and then a 5th round pick, I believe, to the Canes. Because it's the annual thing now. The Blackhawks are trading their second rounders for the Canes first every year. Oh, Zarovsky was 34. It was okay. Wow, the Canes could have had Zarovsky. They've taken 18 Russians in the last 4 years, and they didn't take Zarovsky. Oh my God! What was that trade? Because the Canes traded double back. Wait. We just got a ton of messages really quick. I feel like Mr. Beast. I came around to this draft a bit more than halfway through the season. It wasn't absurd. Oh, to that draft, 2025. I think it was a high-end class at the very start of the year. I don't know what it was, but I was just like, I was a big fan of everyone. It didn't matter. Like, Brady Martin, too. Dane Aurier looked fantastic. He had 2 broken wrists and put up those numbers in the queue. And then couldn't even take faceoffs because he was hurt so much. Like, I loved that class. I don't know who's going to be a bust in there. Like, I think about every draft, and you have to think about who's going to be that guy that busts, because there's always going to be a guy in the top 10 that usually busts or isn't the guy. But that class, it's like, who's it going to be? Like, Logan Hensler went 20-something. That's a great pick. Victor Eklund went 16. 15, 16 with the Aitchison with 40, 26 goals in the OHL. Like, I don't know. I feel like Verhoff is a tad bit overrated. Verhoff, I think it's a fair assessment, but I still think you have to bet on the talent. I think that he might be overrated now, but in 5 years, when you have him play 300 games, he's going to look exactly like the type of player that you thought. I don't think that he's a clear-cut number 3 overall pick right now, but I think if you get him at 5, 6, or 7, you're kidding. No, he will not go to 6 or 7. But if you get him at 4, 5, you're getting an absolute steal. I don't think he's going to go 2. I don't think I've been battling him and Smits for me on who is going to be 1. So the first defenseman off the board. It's not. So I'm just going to go to this real quick because it's a Verhoff conversation. Then I'll go to the other ones. Verhoff's hockey IQ worries me. That's what Not a Planet said, and it's the snap of the finger quick decisions when you're getting pressured by forwards that are faster. It's when you have to make a quick decision and what is he going to do with the puck? Because there are times when he does turn into an Artem Levshinov or in that kind of way. I think that Albert Smits, and I've said this, is the most NHL ready defenseman in the entire class. And he brings more physicality, but he doesn't bring the offense, but he has great hands and he has a really heavy, great shot. But he's not a bad skater whatsoever. And I don't think any of the defensemen in this class are very bad skaters in the top 5. So I think that there needs to be more of a conversation that Smits and Verhoff and Reed are on that same tier. And I feel like we are starting to get there, but I don't think that we should say, I think it's a crazy reaction or recency bias of saying Verhoff should be 5 now, because it shouldn't be. Like Verhoff should be in that 3 to 4 discussion. But if you need a left-handed defenseman rather than a right-handed defenseman, then take Smits. That's kind of just how I see it. I'm still mad about that. Laugh my A off. Zurofsky and Pickford for West in my mind still. Jeez. I never like trading up in the second round with multiple second round picks for a first round pick, for a late first round pick. But for Mason West, I understood why. You're taking a grand slam swing. I don't know if I think you had to do it. You have to take that upside swing. But if you're going to do that and waste 2 second round picks, like add another one and go into the top 15. Like if you're going to do it, do it. Don't trade up 5 picks, 7 picks, 5 picks it was, and lose a second round pick. At that point, there's a reason no one's taking them. Go top 15. I love 2 top 15 picks. Go 2 lottery picks. That's just kind of how I do it. I'm frozen again. Jack Ivankovic is going to be a stud, fitting that Predators draft him. They like their small goalies. I have interviewed Jack a couple times. His dad is a friend of the pod and a friend of my account and stuff. Very supportive person. And, Jack's player comp for himself is actually UC Saros. So at the draft, I was asking him, like, you're now in the same organization. And he just lit up. I like Jack. He's going to be a great, great player. Cool, calm, and collective. That was my title of my article. My article on him. That was one of my best articles. I would put Reed ahead of Verhoff. I'm also coming out with my top 64 again on paper. So I'm going to be doing a writing, and also Draft Prospects Hockey is going to be publishing our new top 64 on Elite Prospects. They might only do top 32. I don't know. But we're on Elite Prospects, so go to Elite Prospects. Like you can hit McKenna and see Draft Pros Hockey there, and then you can kind of see our rankings. I really take a lot of pride that we're on there. I would put Reed ahead of Verhoff. That's completely fine. Like you have full right to do that. I think that Reed, Verhoff, and Smits, like I've said, are on the same tier. The one I think will bust. No, I can't do that. I think Jake O'Brien is an incredible playmaker, an incredible player. And once you put him with players, with high IQ players, he's going to absolutely cook. I'm a big Jake O'Brien fan. We already talked about Verhoff. That shot that went off the post would have taken Knight below 900. Knight's a very good goalie. You have Drew Comesso, Adam Guyan, Ilya Karnasov. I can never say his name. Karnasky and Soderblom. The Blackhawks are very, very good in net. And you signed him to a good contract. I will say, Knight is having a bad year because the Blackhawks are terrible. Do you have Reed above Verhoff above Reed? I have Verhoff above Reed right now. I have Verhoff 3, Reed 4. These are actually my exact rankings. If anybody wants a first look at my top 64, I put it in here because you guys mean the world of you are actually using the website. So I'll do a top 20. I'm not going to show you everything. You can't top 21. I'm not going to bring out the full juices, but here it is. I still have Ryan Rubrick 21. It's higher than consensus. I love Pippa Ryan in here. He should have played in that bronze medal game against USA Finland. Didn't make any sense why he didn't, playing in Liga. Adam Novotny, JP Hurlbert. So if you guys want me to do a full breakdown on my top 32 video, comment down below. Let me know what YouTube videos you guys want to see. If you guys want to see full breakdowns. We're at the 2 hour and 30-minute mark. We have 282 people watching on X and 22 people on YouTube. So thank you guys so much. If you can hit like and subscribe, we're giving away multiple jerseys before the end of the season. And we're also we're doing a draft lottery special where we're going to do some giveaways. So maybe I turn into the Mr. Beast of this community, but really appreciate everybody. And this is my website I created, so I take a lot of pride in it. If you guys have any questions, ever want to do a mock draft, I'm literally working on the mock draft. I'm so sorry, guys, that waited all that time and it didn't work, but the solo one works for sure. Was Malhotra always this highly rated? I feel like he was actually a second-round pick in summer scouting. And in summer, I love summer scouting. Like Dwayne Bucher for me was like top 40 pick. Now he's like in the 60s, but sometimes those guys in the summer just look so good. And they're just so well conditioned. And then once these other guys become conditioned, it's special. I love this space. Every player is like a stock. And I came up from the finance section. So it's like finding the value, finding exactly what you want to see, the team leaderships, the development that they have. You have to look at everything, the skill traits, how they project, how these traits can translate in the NHL. It's so interesting. He sort of reminds me of Tyler Myers Verhoff. He's not as mean as Tyler Myers for sure either. He's not as big as Tyler Myers. I think he moves better. His skating is underrated. Which guy has the highest upside? McKenna, but I'm not going to say that. For defense-wise, it is Verhoff, but Chase Reed has a better offensive upside. For physical defensemen that you want, it's Albert Smits. For centers, it's Caleb Malhotra. But for overall player, that's under 6 feet, it's Vigo Bjork. So I gave you a lot of them. Let's see. I like the directions the Isles made this past week, moving up to 14, just behind St. Louis at 13, who have picks in the top 125. Well, the Isles beat the Leafs, right? So are they 15 now? Let me see the standings. But I do know the Blackhawks own both the Leafs pick. So, the Leafs second round pick. And they almost own the Leafs unprotected 2026 pick. If you guys have any of the first round pick lore, but we got Vasilov, and I'll take that over anybody. Just for me there. But yeah, they're 15 now. And then so this would be 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. So the Blackhawks would own the 38th, the 33rd, the 34th. So they would own the 34th and the 38th picks in the second round as well. And wherever the Islanders fall. So is this like 50, 49, 50? Yeah. Maybe 49 or something of that. So that is really interesting. The Blackhawks game is over 7-2, I believe. If the Rangers win one game, the lowest we could fall is 3. Yeah, that would be top 5 protected. So Blackhawks can lock in a top 5 pick. I'll do another update. 8 picks. Toronto hopefully gets top 5. And I also I thought this was kind of cool. I put in a picks tracker. The conditional picks are still not in, so it doesn't say they guarantee have 3 picks, but I put in all of the picks that the Blackhawks had or any team. But I will put in the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers pick because I wanted to wait to see what was going to happen with the Panthers pick, but obviously the Blackhawks ain't getting that. And also, since the Oilers have that condition, but I do believe that the Blackhawks, what was the condition on there, Trevor? Can you see? Frandel Hattie. Oh, wait. Wow, you guys tweeted so much. That night contract is a fleece. That was awesome. I love O'Brien just not in Seattle. I could see that. I would love if O'Brien was on the Blackhawks. Go get O'Brien. Put him with Vanacker and Lardis. That would be amazing. That would be so awesome. These fans want to throw their hats. Fredwick having himself a night. Hawks should have at least 4 goals. Thank God. Belches was the wild card in October. How is he doing now? He got hurt. I talked to him 2 games before he got hurt in person. I was in Windsor, and he said he modeled his game after Chuck, Jamie Benn, and then there was one other guy. But the 6'5" size, the production he had in the OHL this year, just fantastic. He was playing with a guy like Liam Greentree, who had similar kind of size and skill. But the thing about Belches is it's just like he's younger than Greentree, but the shot, the playmaking, I wouldn't say that he has any of the Porter Martone playmaking, but he definitely is more of a power forward than Martone. Last year, I think Martone really came alive. Martone was actually a lot smaller. Go to Martone. But Martone was a lot smaller when he was younger, and he really had to utilize his body more and learn how to use it. So that's something a lot of people don't talk about. But Ethan Belches is one of my favorite players in the draft. If he's out of the top 10, it's a mistake. I've been looking a bit into later first-round right-handed defenseman for the Isles. How do you feel about Pantelis as a prospect? I actually have an interview coming out with Pantelis next week, too. Pantelis and Klepov, that's the schedule. And I really like Pantelis. I actually have him ranked way higher than consensus. He is somebody that has flown up my radar. He is so raw, but a 6'2", but he looks like he's 6'4". Honestly, if I had $1 million to guess what his size is, it's 6'4", maybe 6'3 and a quarter, or 6'3 3/4. But 37 points in 68 games for the Brandon Wheat Kings. He's had a good season, but this guy loves to dump the puck, go and get it. He's a good puck handler. In terms of that, I think he needs some kind of work, but it's just like his mind thinks that he could do more than he can, and that's what I like. When your mind is up to speed, but your body isn't, because all he's going to be doing is muscle memory reps. All this is going to be is reps. So if you're continuing to do reps and your body can do it, but your mind can't, that's actually, for me, scarier. But when your mind can do it, but your body can't, I just think that the reps will help him. And he's going to get stronger, but he's 214 pounds now. I would like to see this too. I could see 6'4", 220. He could utilize his body. He has a very long reach, and it allows him to break up pucks, poke check from a very far distance, gain a lot of ground in a lot of short amount of time, even though he's not the fastest guy. And for me, his offense is there too, but that's not why you drafted him. I could totally see top 4 right-handed defenseman in this guy. Like, he's one of the defensemen in this range. Like, him and Pippa Reinen are really good values for this class. That's why I like this draft so much, because you're finding values like this. I loved the 2025 draft, and I'll probably love it forever because it was my first one. But I got to go to the draft. I got to interview all these guys, and Matthew Schaefer and Porter Martone were my first 2 interviews, and it was just a magical season. But with this draft, like, it's like 27, 28, 29 deep. And even in the second round, you could find a lot of value. And I'm not even the highest on guys like the Rucks. So I really like that you said Pantala Center. That was awesome. He needs more love. So thank you for coming out and asking that. Would you trade Knight back to the Panthers for their first round pick, so then Seth Jones trade his two for? Obviously, if I could trade Knight for a top 7 pick right now, I would do it 100%. But at the same time, you're going to need, the Blackhawks have their guys. The Panthers wouldn't do this probably, but you have Soderblom playing well. You can wait for Comesso. You can have him as backup next year, and Guyan's waiting in the wind, playing in the AHL. Frundall off the inner crossbar. Are you serious? Oh, man. You almost had a Hattie. That would have erupted Twitter. Love it, though. Like I said, I got the first English interview with him one-on-one. I don't care what that says, but I'm happy. He had Denver and Michigan 2 minutes from overtime. I might change this up. Wow, you guys asked a lot of questions. Keep me updated. Wait. I'm going to pull the game up, and we're going to turn this into a Michigan versus Denver live stream, honestly. I hate that ESPN Plus. I have ESPN Plus, but I can't watch it with that. So I got to pull up a different page, and it's just like, why can't I watch everything at the same place? You're paying for ESPN. But I have so many questions I have to answer, and I really appreciate all you guys for asking them. But I'm just trying to get there, boys. And my computer's frozen, so. Oh, we did hit 17,000 followers, so I hit it 5 minutes into the stream. My computer's frozen. Oh, man. I don't know what happened. I reset my computer. I don't know what happened. Well. Sorry, guys. I don't know. It just crashed. It won't even let me leave. I'm trying to contact. We have audio. Build your franchise, St. Louis. It won't work. Here. Well, I'll just talk. So I think it closed out my I literally restarted my computer. Now we have so many people watching, of course. That's how it goes, guys. Can you see my screen, Trevor? Can you see my screen? Why are the numbers going up? Don't watch this. This is the worst case scenario. 26 people are now watching. It's gonna go viral just because I can't. That's just on YouTube, not even on Twitter. It's just down. This is crazy. All right. I think I can open my tab up again. All right, it's on. We're good. What's up, boys? And what we gained more viewers after it crashed. Thank you guys for staying on. That's crazy. I'm not gonna pull up the game now. I can't. Upside, it sounded good. It sounded good when it happened. Appreciate you guys. So I have like a lot of comments. Ryan said, "Ridiculous, man." Sorry about that. Pull it up on your phone. I'll keep you posted on the game. Thank you. I tried to pull up the game and it crashed. Like, I was watching other hockey games while we were on, and then I pulled up the Michigan game and it just crashed. Like, but I appreciate you guys all for being here and watching that. I can't get off now. So they're heading into overtime now. Bro maxed out his RAM. I'm telling you, I need a new computer. I'll probably, now we're losing live viewers. People don't want to see my face. That's what it was. All right, ask me a player, ask me anything, honestly. We went through a lot of the Discord questions. Try to close some more tabs. Let's see. We've had about 400 viewers in this stream and 300. So we've had about 700 people watching. So I really appreciate everybody for coming in. And I know that it crashed. We were like last year on our videos, we were getting like 10,000 people. So this isn't even draft season yet. I only started posting last year in like what? February, late February? No, early March, because Roger McQueen told me he was coming back, so I posted that on X, and that was my first tweet. So Bombaklat said, "Who's a prospect you were high on that many teams left available for a good portion of the draft, but who ended up turning out really good?" And for me, I have a list, man. One, like Andrew Cristall, I feel like should have been a Blackhawk or any team earlier. I was a big fan of Cole Hudson after what Lane Hudson did. And I was a fan of Cole Iserman. I thought James Hagen and Porter Martone were left on the board too late. So I will say, like, I didn't like the Kirby Doc selection in 2019. I liked Trevor Zegras. I mean, but his highlight package and hands were just incredible. I was a big Zach Benson guy. I thought despite the size, he was going to be really good. Like a couple guys I thought were going to go higher than they did was like Lakovic. I think Lakovic's going to be really good. I thought Jackson Smith was going to go higher. Like Zeev Boyum. I would say Zeev Boyum. I was really high on Zeev Boyum. I don't know how he fell in that class. Benson is one I was really high on. Did you comment that before I said that? I really like that you said that. I was real, dude. We think the same. See, a lot of people think the exact same. It doesn't matter like how much clips. I think when you watch too many clips, you start to overthink. Gabe Perreault was also another one of mine too, and Quentin Musty. I liked Quentin Musty a lot. Perreault, yeah. Ryan also said Perreault. Because Perreault played fantastic with Will Smith and Ryan Leonard. It was insane. Like, ask me more questions about other drafts. I love other draft questions. I've been doing this for such a long time that, like, now that people are actually listening, it's nice. Because my friends literally told me that I cannot text them about obscure prospects at 3 a.m. anymore when I couldn't sleep. I was texting people about, like, Gavin Brindley and, like, what kind of pickup line is, hey, do you know who Gavin Brindley is in Michigan at a bar? They're going to be like, what is going on here? So, like, don't tell people you like this stuff. Like you don't get the right type of reaction you think you'd get. Gavin Brindley is goated. I love it. I'll have that conversation anytime. Me too, dude. Me too. Like, my friends will put on like Shane Gillis. So I'm like, let's put on like the hockey guy, man. Like, let's put on the hockey guy. Let's see what he's doing, writing on his whiteboard. Calgary would love Tej. I like Tej, man. I got to talk to Tej, and he said that he uses VR to get healthy, to get back up to speed and his mental game right during injuries. And I really like that. I like Shane Gillis. Like, no lie on Shane Gillis. Like, I actually saw Stavros in Rockford a couple weeks ago, and then I went to the casino and I won like $300. My friend, I had a posse of like six people there, and they were just like cheering me on. I actually played blackjack with Gorchinski, and I lost him like $40 because I hit on the dealer was showing a 4. Like, so I should have known it was a 14, and I also had a 4, so I hit, and then I got a king, and the dealer would have busted. So Kevin Korchinski got up and was like, I can't believe he did that. Yeah, that was bad. I wanted to go to this one. I bet if you did it in a Beavis and Butthead voice, you'd get the ladies. That's already what I do. Like, the Beavis and Butthead voice is goated, man. A guy like that went late was Kevin Heath, too. We were doing a 2024 mock draft, and I realized how late he went. I was like, what the heck? What the hell? Tim Robinson. Like, what? I don't think that's supposed to happen. But that was a little crazy. I'm actually going to go to this. Let's go to this. Players that fell. Liam Greentree at the time. I did not realize why he fell. Igor Chernyshov, I was crying that the Blackhawks did not take him. Cole Yzerman. Harrison Brunick, I've been a fan of, but he kind of had a late pop, so I wasn't on his radar as much. I liked Teddy Stiga. I liked Nick Lardis, actually, in the 2023. I didn't know. I wasn't familiar with Protas's game as much. Let's see. Oh my God. Aaron Kiviharju. Do you guys remember when he was the number 1 projected player in the summer of 2023, I think? I was shocked when this guy went. And he played well at the World Juniors. I was shocked. That was a crazy one. I mean, Kevin Hewan here. Luke Osborne. That was one that I thought he was going to get like second round buzz. It's kind of shocked there. 2023 draft. I knew like every single name. Like, I knew everything about this draft. Like I was addicted. I think it was actually a problem. Like completely surprised Andrew Kristoff fall to here. I was completely surprised that Michael Harabel was not the number one goalie off the board. I was completely surprised that, like, I mean, look at these guys. I mean, how did all of these players fall that far? I mean, Martin Misiak was actually the number one overall draft pick in the OHL. This class, Oscar Fisker Molligard was so hyped up to be like a late first round pick. Jacob Fowler fell. Nathan Grav, I was watching his stuff before we started collabing, and I still watch him, but like I was watching him like religiously, and I remember he had him number one on his goalie board. Like I watch other people's stuff just to see like what they're thinking too. Like we have a Seattle Thunderbird. I was a huge Seattle Thunderbird guy that season, and I was actually happy the Blackhawks took Korchinski at one point. I thought they should have taken him at 13 once they got that pick. I actually liked Nazar more. I will say that. I didn't know much about Sam Renzel at this point. And it's hard to scout high school kids when you didn't have like the right material. Why is this the logo for the Hawks here from Milton? That's weird. Dylan Robrick is actually Ryan Robrick's brother. And he's also 6'7", but yeah, there's a reason he went 178. It's just the Robricks might not have it in them. That's what I've been hearing. Emmett Finney has had a great season. Oh, we definitely missed him. I knew he was in. Oh, it was 2023. Yeah, so interesting for sure. Yeah, I'll start trying that though. I'll do that at the draft. That'll be my accent. That could be a blockbuster trade on draft day. Blockbuster trade. Who's a prospect that weirded you out in an interview? I can't say anything like that. Well, I'll say the prospect that made me feel intimidated was Albert Smits, because you can't ask him a bad or even average question. If you want to get to him, you need to ask the greatest question of all time. Like you need to have an excellent question. My one question when I don't know what to say really is, what do you think? What's one thing your teammates know about you that fans probably don't? Because I feel like it opens the door. He just said, ask my teammates. And I was like, oh, that's a dumb question. So that's also something. It made me realize, like, I need better questions. Who do you think is the biggest gambler this year? High risk, high reward, like Schmidt or McQueen last year. Schmidt falling to 94, I was also shocked about. To the Stars. Highest risk is probably Ryan Rubrick. And a guy that could fall is probably Villeneuve, if we're talking about risk reward. And if we're talking about also smaller 6 foot guy or under 6 foot is Vigo Bjork, but Vigo Bjork should not fall. If Vigo Bjork falls, I will start applying for GM jobs. I'm not going to get them, but I'm gonna formally request to get hired. I will have a what is that thing called where you get signups? Petition. Love Hard Rocks. LOL. Hard Rock Casino is great. The second Ruck brother might be a reach if taken too soon as a tandem with his brother. I'm not big on either of them, and I feel bad. Oh. A lot of their goals, 3 feet in front of the net, 85% of the time. Those guys are not 6'5" that are going to overpower you with their power. UB Beavis, I'm already butthead. We can discuss hockey all day. Like, I don't know. Oh, I talked about Philip Ekberg going in the 7th or 6th I think it was 6th or 7th. I know I'm doing the 6-7 thing, but I never realized how much I said 6-7 with each other until that thing came out. But I talked about this earlier today. I was shocked. Isildur says, to have 8 picks in the first 125 picks, win the lotto and trade for more picks. Dude, put those picks together. He looks like a scary dude talking about Schmitz. Traded for 3 number ones in 2027, 8, and 9. Let's draft that second pick, a lotto number 5. That's a right-handed defenseman, Tomas, next year. Pretty good. Aitchison had a sick game today. Cole as well. Why is Valentini rated so low? I have him in the... Well, a lot of it's going to be because a lot of scouts and people like that talk about this stuff have said he's off some draft boards. I will show you guys. I mean, I know this is my top 32, but the cat's out of the bag. You guys have stayed with me too long to not get this information. I appreciate you guys. I have him 31 overall in my rankings. I'm not going to take him out of my top 32. He's been too good. If he's 5'9", I will, though. Going from 5'9" to 5'11", like, that's bad. Going from 5'11" to 5'9", that's bad. I heard a rumor for Doug Armstrong to Toronto today. I've seen boards where he is not rated. It's some people have him off their board completely. It is, to me, dumb. He had 25 points in 38 games on a stacked Michigan team. They could literally win the national championship. I'm not sure if that game is live. I cannot pull it up. You saw what happened last time. I'm sorry. I really want to watch that game. I honestly want to get off to watch it, but can you please tell me what's going on with that? And I'm freezing again. Jesus. Well, we have so many people in here. Can't leave you guys. You guys are my family now. I'll never get off this street. They're 3 minutes into OT. Let's see. How do you feel about Brooks Rogowski? 6'6", center, maybe. In terms of his production with the Generals this year, it was pretty good production. I'm actually going to go to him, but my computer's frozen again. And I don't want to... Oh, it's right here. Yeah, 42 points in 46 games, 15 goals, 27 assists. He is a later birthday in this class, which is good. June 08. You kind of always want to look at that 08 birthdays. There's September 07s and December 07s, both McKenna and I believe Stenberg is an 07 December birthday. But the size is there. You really like that. You love the 231 pounds, and he doesn't look like a sloth out there. So I honestly like the upside. I think he will be taken kind of where a guy like Václav Nestrasil was or Mason West was last year. I think he has to stay in the first round, especially when you're seeing what Dean Letourneau did as well. He doesn't have the skill Dean Letourneau has now, but he can take that jump. And his B game is fair. His B game is good. In terms of his body, he can just start to use it more. I am actually a fan of Brooks Rogowski, but I don't know what his NHL floor is. I could totally see him not making the NHL. I could totally see him making the NHL. It's kind of just a risk reward there. That's a lotto ball. Reminds me of Lev Katzen. Sorry. They're 3 minutes into OT, so that's the Denver Michigan game. I can't pull it up. I'm really sorry. What tool skill is your biggest turnoff when evaluating prospect? Mine is skating as well, and also like hockey IQ. Like skating is the most important, but that's kind of the easiest one. But if you don't know how to play hockey, I would at least like it if you were playing another sport, you were late to join the sport, or like you're super athletic. Like, that's why it's cool about Mason West or AJ Spelcy that they played football. You need to have played a physical contact sport, or else once you get hit in the boards, get hit in the corner, you get hit in open ice, you might not get up. You need to have that physicality. You need to have brothers, honestly. If Seattle wins the lotto, who do they pick? Like, you need people that bullied you. Like, you need to be ready. Like, You got to be smart though. Like if Seattle wins the lotto, who do they pick? McKenna or Stenberg for sure. Wait, let me check. Yeah, McKenna or Stenberg. You put actually no. I'm gonna say this. You pick McKenna. You put McKenna near Jake O'Brien. That's one of the greatest playmaking duos ever. That power play would be fantastic. I mean, if they're on the power play, they might be scoring. If they win the faceoff on the power play, they're scoring. Hicks is making some huge saves right now. Man, I might get off. I want to watch. IQ, physical traits. Do I even attempt to pull it up? I like do it on the phone, maybe. Wait, let me see. We just lost 3 viewers. No. I don't know if this will work, but I'll try it. But IQ versus physical traits, completely agree. Gritty is good, yes. Oh, this game is really good. Let him rip the pucks. It's back and forth action, man. I'm gonna rewatch both these games tomorrow. Once Instead has them. Let's see. Best Shane Gillis skit. I like the Drunk Uncles one, where it's like the uncle's daycare. Like, I think that's really funny. I don't know how much you've followed him this season, but I've heard. What do you think about? But he's heard he said it down here. What do you think about Luca Romano? I'm actually higher on Luca Romano. Last year, he kind of fell off too. He had a really good first half, and then kind of fell off second half. And I was with Sam Constantino, and he asked him at the combine, like, what happened? And he was talking about he just didn't know, just kind of a fall off. And I've talked to him. I've talked to his family outside the draft. And I remember I actually like shut Luca Romano's media scrum down because I asked him like what team he rooted for, the Yankees or the Mets. And I went up to him after. I'm like, I'm really sorry for asking you that. And he's like, I don't care. I'm Canadian. I don't watch baseball. So I'm like, okay, good. But I felt really bad. But I'll always remember that. Luca's a great kid. He that Isles prospect pool is looking deep now. I could see a future for him for sure. What are your reads on Lynn Hurlbert? 2 guys I'm curious about. Hurlbert seems divisive amongst people who watch him. For me, I love Hurlbert. I have him in the top 20. I have both of those guys in the top 20. Hurlbert is more physical. He absolutely is a killer offensively. Played well in the WHL. Him and Nathan Boehm had incredible chemistry. And you get a guy that is also physical. He was averaging, I think, a 0.8 hits per game. He leads in with his hands, like I said, and he pushes off so that most of the guys that he hits, he ends up putting them on the ice. And he's fast. The dangle ability, the puck skill he has, the high hockey IQ, the vision, the shots, like he's the full package. And his B game is very good. I'm kind of surprised he's not higher. I was late to the party though. Like, I'm not gonna say I wasn't. I was late to the party. I will send you the site if I can get to it. We have one more question here. Oh, it's on Ryan Lynn. Sorry, I was already there. So this is the website. You can do mock drafts. You can build your own GM team. It just came out. We've been getting for the first couple of days of the release, we got like 10,000 users a day. It was crazy. I don't know what we're getting now. I haven't checked. I've been scared because the servers might crash. But we're continuing to do a lot of stuff with this thing. We are not done at all. We'll go to this. Dang, the Flames did lose. That's unfortunate. Seattle Kraken here. If they win this game, obviously they're probably not going to. I don't know if Trevor's still in here, but we kind of need a Panthers update. I don't know. They might be eliminated from the finishing 10 unless two teams jump, and that's actually worse. Unless, like, let's say Islanders and Blue Jackets jump to 4 and 6, and then Florida Panthers are like 9. I mean, that would take a lot, and it's not going to happen. But yes, I'm sending you the site now. Oh, I already did, so we're good. Sorry, I'm tired. Mock draft. I go to Puckpedia. They have the cookies. Well, if you want to use a new one, a little shake it up, use mine. It's cool. If not, you want to use Puckpedia, there's no pressure at all. It's basically whatever you prefer. I made this for me. And there's some really good ones out there. Like, I love EP. I love NHL Tankathon. I just love the user ability. I'm frozen again. I'm probably going to have to get off here. I'm going to turn on the game. But while you guys can probably hear me, can you text me if you can? I'm pulling up my chat again. I have it pulled up. Okay, so first of all, can one of you guys tell me if you can hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, hello. And I was still talking about Ryan Lynn. So my read on Ryan Lynn is that audio is solid. Good. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm going to have to do a full restart. But I was talking about Ryan Lynn, and Ryan Lynn is a guy that I am high on. But EP having him at 4, I think that it's going to go down, and he's going to be a guy that's in the 15-20 range. And I know that that's already happened. But in terms of like the upside play, like he's a guy that's not elite offensively, but he's not like a Zane Parekh, but I think he gives you more defensively. And Zane Parekh was obviously 5'11" right-handed when he was drafted. And Ryan Lynn kind of gives me that same vibe, but not offensive. Like he is more of a floor defensively. So take with that what you will, I feel. I'm not sure what the stream is doing. But I think I can hear. Thank you so much for bookmarking it. I really appreciate it. If any of you guys like have more ideas, this is a group project basically. Like I want you guys to be involved in the creation of this. I want you, if you guys have any good ideas, I want you to come to me and I want to create them. Like that, this is something that I have true passion for. I wanted to build something that's really great for everybody. And your visual is no longer frozen. Cool. I'm really proud of what's going on with it. So I really appreciate you guys for even using it, even if it's once or twice. But yeah, so thank you so much for bookmarking it. I really appreciate that. And I'll get on a mock draft with anybody that like bookmarks it, uses it, anything like that. Obviously, first thing I do is I'm gonna jump off, fix the code in the multiplayer. There's something wrong with it. I'm not sure why. It's been working for a week. Calgary has 3 right-handed defensemen with Zane. Calgary has their right-handed defenseman with Zane. That kid can pass the biscuit. Dude, I was watching him play. It was awesome. Wait, go check out your 9,000 X notifications. Put the game on. Yeah, I have a lot. And my X is actually frozen. Wait, which game? Wait, what the hell? What the hell? Wait. Wow, there's a lot of messages. All right, so I'll get back in. Sorry, I was just kind of shocked. Yeah, I think I'm gonna honestly get off to watch the game. I just feel like that's where I need to be right now. But I could get back on, honestly, if you guys want. But I don't know. It's already 11. I gotta give my dog's medicine. My dog takes 5 medicines. He's 17. He was given 6 months to live 5 years ago. It's insane. He has congestive heart failure, but he's killing it, man. His will to live is awesome. But I have to give him 5 medicines a day. Well, twice a day. But I'm actually gonna get off here. I'm gonna watch this game. I need to. And tomorrow I'm gonna watch it back. I might do a live viewing watching it back. But I just knew I needed to go live today. Like today was not a good day, so I just needed to do something. And I always watch everything on Instat anyway, a couple days later. So, but I wanted to be with you guys. I feel really awesome to, have people come out to these things, even if it was like 5 people and stuff. But we had over like 1,000 people in the stream, which is just incredible. I'm not even. It's just crazy numbers. So thank you guys so much for all coming in, especially on YouTube. You guys were awesome, and your questions were fantastic. So thank you guys so much. But I'm going to get out of here. Really appreciate it. I'll be back on tomorrow. Obviously, we have a James Hagen's jersey giveaway, so be sure to check that out at Drop the Mitts on X, as well as we're going to be giving away a Connor Bedard's jersey again. So stay tuned for that. We're going to announce that after the season. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate everybody for sticking with me. Peace out, guys.